Hello world, it's just me. I have some things to do today, so I thought I'd stay home and get some things accomplished. As you all know, I'm never home. I'm always out, but it's been a lot. I've been out for like a steady week now. I have tons of energy and the sun's not facing me. I have no idea how I'm not burned. No idea. I'm out every single day. I do have brown spots, however, developing on my forehead that I'll keep an eye on, but no concern. I do not seem to get hurt. I do not like the idea of feeling pain, so therefore I tell myself I do not, and we'll take it from there. So each day is a new day, a new discovery, a new, you never know what you're going to get. But it's exciting regardless. Actually, every day is beyond exciting to me. It's just beyond exciting. I have no way of explaining why you'd have to walk in my shoes. And I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So you're just going to have to enjoy my adventure through me. So today, as I said, I have some things that I need to pick up online. I got to order Dante some shoes in. I'm going to see about getting an air conditioner for Sky's room and some other stuff. I'd like to listen to the Book of Genesis, but I did find another book that has got me beyond excited. I tried to go live the other day and tell you about it, but the park is just, my data is just not working. I don't know what's going on with my data. So I was at the park and without getting into how I came across this book, it doesn't matter. There were 3 of them to choose from, and they're by a gentleman named Tom Robbins, and the name of the book is atrociously long. It just doesn't even seem to have anything to do with the book itself, but then I haven't made through the book yet. So just give me a minute here. I just got to get back to where the book was. It was absolutely beyond intriguing, enough that I went to a library. Yeah, I went to the local library for the first time, and I have no idea how long. And it's funny because I went in and I'm like, I said, I haven't been in the library in I don't know how long, and I have absolutely no idea how to even use one. I said, do you guys use index cards still? And she kind of just very kindly, quietly laughed at me. And I don't blame her, as she gets out her computer that's right in front of her and looks up the book that I'm looking for and ordered it in. Actually, it's so advanced that I don't even have to go into the library. I just have to I have this app now that I can download onto my phone to access not just their library, but any library apparently anywhere. So I'm going to definitely jump on that. So I've ordered Tom Robbins. I'm dying to read this book. It's called Fierce Invalid's Home from Hot Climates. What a ridiculous name. What a ridiculous name. It's wonderful. It makes no sense. Caught my eye, no idea why, just because it was a book. The profile that I came across, the person seemed just very similar to the way that I talk, the things that I'm curious about right now, dabbling my toes in a little bit of everything. So we're going to dabble our toes into a little bit of whatever the hell this is. Actually, you know what? Let's play it in the background for a little bit. Why not? I have nobody on right now. The only dad wants. I had a phone call. I apologize. Oh, look, see, the outside view is so much better than the inside view. I wonder if you can get... Oh, I can. I got my prism in here too. Okay, so let's just show you better the outside. You can look at the outside instead of staring at me the whole time, because that's fun. And we'll listen to our... Actually, you can't hear it. We'll listen to the Book of Genesis. I was reading that the other day, but again, the one that I was very intrigued is this one by Tom Robbins. I have no idea why it caught my attention, but I'm super excited to get it in. I actually ordered it. I can listen to it, obviously. I have been listening to it, but it's so enticing that I wanted to take it piece by piece and kind of read the words in front of me as I go, and see where that takes me. So I did get 2 other books, though. I'll turn you around for just a moment. I did get Against the Gods, The Remarkable Story of Risk. This one is, I don't know, just, it's not a rebellion thing that got my attention. Just in this unique exploration of the role of risk in our society, Peter Bernstein argues that the notion of bringing risk under control is one of the central ideas that distinguishes modern times from the distant past. Against the Gods chronicle the remarkable intellectual adventure that liberated humanity from oracles and soothsayers by means of the powerful tools of risk management that are available to us today. So just caught my attention. I don't know, caught my attention. And then the other one that caught my attention, I actually bought these. I didn't borrow these ones. These ones I bought. I have The Language Instinct, How the Mind Creates Language. In The Language Instinct, Steven Pinker, well known for his revolutionary theory of how children acquire language, lucidly explains everything you always wanted to know about language: how it works, how children learn it, how it changes, how the brain computes it, how it evolves. With wit, erudition, and deft use of everyday examples of humor and wordplay, Pinker weaves our vast knowledge of language into a compelling story. Language is a human instinct, wired into our brains by evolution like web spinning in spiders on solar in bats. Ha! He's one of the world's leading experts on language and the mind. He has won several major awards for his teaching and scientific research. Pinker is director of the Center for Cognitive Neuroscience at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. He lives in Cambridge, Massachusetts. So, I don't know, just a brilliant, witty, and altogether satisfying book, as per the New York Times. And of course, you can't judge anything on the New York Times. They approve of everything. But the cover itself caught my attention. The four characters here. The book itself, language. We know that words are kind of like spells, right? If you say the right word the right way, the right tone at the right moment, it can make a huge difference compared to one moment later, one octave up, one octave down, one word switched, anything. Words can cause sort of like a spell-like thing, right? Based on how you decide to decipher it. So learning the meaning behind the words, learning your tones and how you portray them and how you'd like to portray them and what you'd actually like to get across is so important. Words are not just words. They're so much more than that. So, while I'm doing my little bit of research until people, I guess, come on, I guess I will listen to the book of Genesis. Aiden has started rereading the book of Genesis. We went to the Canada Day festivities, and there was a tent there, and it had a tent from a new group that I've never heard of. They're the Evergreen. I don't want to get this wrong. Just bear with me a minute here, guys. I should have grabbed this book. I know it's no wrong. Ignore my walls. I'm still waiting for my landlord's dude to come over with paint so that I can make my house look pretty again. I paint all of it myself. I like painting. So he got just a regular Bible, but it is a English Standard Version, which apparently is a newer version. But it's really I like how it's broken down. He's into it. He's in Genesis chapter 22. This will be the first time he's actually read the entire Bible if he makes it through, and we're just having great conversations. The church is known as the Evergreen Bible Chapel. Apparently they don't have a church, they just go to regular places. I don't know, there was something about them that just caught my attention. I don't stay long enough to get involved in anything. I'm not remotely interested in being titled as a Christian, a non-Christian, an atheist. I don't want titles of anything. I'm just simply me. I'm doing me. So that seems to be working to an extent, but people don't like it. I ran into my old pastor again yesterday. That was a gong show. I gotta stop talking to Christians, man. They just... Oh my God! Oh, what a gong show! We ended up getting into a disagreement. He was very contradictory and mocking to a citizen who was in need, and it was just really sad to see the lack of effort, the lack of even care, as he tried numerous times to leave, and then he offered what he had from his pocket, which was very nice of him. But then it came with stipulations: you better not do this, you better not do that. Well, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Should you decide to be kind and take a moment to give somebody whatever, it doesn't matter if it's from your pocket, it doesn't matter where it's from. If you decide to be kind, do something for somebody, you cannot follow it up with, well, then you've got to do this, you've got to do that, here's the rules, and here's this. That really bothered me. So he apologized to my friend, saying, I have to apologize to you because I am apparently being judged I'm judging you. As per Valerie's judgment on me, I am judging you. To which I was a little caught off, thinking, my judgment on you. And I did apologize to him because he made me think that I had judged him. And later I realized as I'm walking away, I hadn't actually judged him at all. I simply told him, I said, did you just tell this person that here's a gift, but it comes with all these laws? I said, you can't do that. You're supposed to just give from your heart, and should they choose to do good or choose to not? I said, they could have chosen to lie to you about the situation altogether. That is not up to you to judge. I had no judgment. It was simply just, do you realize what you said to that person? Like, you shouldn't give gifts if it's going to come with any sort of stipulation. The person had asked for money for food, and he turned around and said, don't you spend it on cigarettes? Well, that's none of your business. None of your business. They could be lying to you, but as a believer in God, as a believer in Jesus, you're supposed to have blind faith, right? They're blindly having faith in the fact that they feel that they can ask you for help, and you are supposed to have blind faith in them that they are going to take whatever help you give them and do something productive with them. But there is no judgment on either side, and he did. And he tried numerous times to walk away from this person. The person kept saying, well, I need more help than just, the 20 from your pocket. That was great, but I need actual help. Like, I've lost my job. I need actual help. And he kept trying to bike away. And so I tried to remove myself from the two of them. I said, well, you guys have a talk. Clearly, I've upset the pastor. And I said, this is more important than whatever's wrong with him and I. I said, you guys have a talk. And then the pastor got upset. He's like, no. He said, she wants to be with you. She wants to be with me. Or you tried to go away again. And it was just a gong show. And so after he gave her the money too, his next statement, as she's going on, she's like, I need more help than this. He turns to her and he goes, pray. Jesus will take care of the rest. I said, did you just hand $20 from your pocket, which was very kind of you to do, no condemnation there, you gave what you had, I guess, and then turn around and tell her to pray? I said, how many years has the people in Africa been praying for relief? How many years have you prayed for relief? I said, I know I've been homeless and I have starved. I said, my God and Jesus and whoever's up there has helped me. I said, I'm here today because of something. I don't know, it wasn't just me. I said, I'm aware of that, but I said, it took more than just dropping to my knees and praying. I said, it takes a community to come together. That's why we have a community. Otherwise, we wouldn't need each other at all. We'd be isolated and just pray to God and your wishes are granted. I said, this is a human being standing in front of you. God apparently sent you. You're his person. You're her miracle, and you're doing nothing. So I turned to her 3 times and I said, there's another church I'll take you to. And he eventually is like, well, we have food in our freezer, but then didn't offer her the food, just said that it was there. And she's kind of waiting for, like, okay, well, is it an offer? Like, do I come over to your church? Should I call? Like, what should I do? And I'm waiting for something. And again, a 3rd time I said, you know what? Never mind. Come with me. I'll take you to a church that does help. And I turned to him. I said, I'm very well aware of what your finances go to. You publish it for the whole church. I know what your money goes to. You're telling me that you don't have anything that you can pull forward for this person other than your very thankful $20. I said, they need more than that. And you're just walking. You didn't even offer her to come to the church to get a hold of the community. I said, it's okay. I will take care of her. And as he's trying to bike away from me in frustration, and I'm walking away, I'm done. Walking away in frustration, he turns to me and he's like, God bless you, Jesus loves you. And I turned around and I said, you know what, Greg? I said, you need Jesus a hell of a lot more than I do. And I walked away. And I'm very frustrated at the fact that I got upset. I'm frustrated with the fact that I got upset because I could have called him out on what he'd said. I wasn't judging him. I was simply pointing out the fact that there was no judgment here. You're telling her what she can and can't do with the gift that you're giving her. And I'm not telling you that that's wrong. I'm pointing out the fact that once you hand a gift away, it is somebody else's to do with as it is. That's not a judgment. That's just a statement. That's just a point. If you choose not to take it, you choose not to take it. But it was an acknowledgement. Take it as you will. Maybe it was a judgment. I don't know. I just didn't like how it went. I didn't like how I got upset. I didn't like how any of it went down. And it's not my place to say anything. My solution was, hey, it's okay. I've got you. I'll take you somewhere else. So that's what I should have stuck with. It's been eating away at me. Part of me feels like I should go and I should have a talk with this gentleman, but I know that he's ran from me 3 times at my church. And watching that just shows that he's currently lost. He's been preaching the word too long that he's forgotten how to walk it and what it means. And when questioned on it and he has to actually think about it, his eyes go panicky and they all look down. Whenever you ask somebody a question that they're not sure on or they don't really care about or just whatever, they look away. That moment, right? I've gotten that from him in the church a million times. This is not the first and will not be the last time I run into somebody named Christian, whether you're a Catholic or whatever you are, whatever religion you are, whatever cult you're into, whatever you're following. It doesn't even matter if it's religion or not. You get offended over nothing. It's supposed to be about peace and love. Like the truck rally. We all come together for a good thing. And then those of them who didn't agree with it for whatever reason, the businesses got their stores broken, statues got torn down, the Prime Minister was scared and ran for his life. Like, we came together for something so good, and yet we still mess it up every single time because if somebody doesn't agree with us, it's not okay. It's not okay. We always think that we are right, or that you have to agree with us for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. Even when we come together as a group, we mess it up, because if somebody says something different, it's not okay, which is hilarious, because even in a group of people who are chanting the same thing, every one of us will have a different key. Every one of us will say just an extra letter or a little less of a letter, or we're going to do it something different. Every chant is not the same. We're not saying the same words. We're not saying the same thing. That's why things don't go together as planned. That's why nothing is ever complete. Nothing is ever complete. Everything is just so close, but it never gets there. You never get complete happiness, complete joy, complete sadness, complete anger, complete destruction, complete content, complete death, complete life, complete everything. It's always meant to be just enough to get you there, to give you hope, to try again. You almost made it, maybe next time. But did you notice that nobody ever really makes it to whatever it is they say made it? You know, I'm rich, but I'm not happy. I've got family, but I'm not complete, etc., etc., etc. So I don't know. It was a frustrating interaction. I'm not happy with how it went. I'm so tired of running into believers of some sort of faith and just the judgment. Oh my God. Even these evergreen guys, I had a really good conversation with them. Really good. Enough that I'm wanting to go talk to them further. Not stay long enough, obviously, dabble your toes and go. But long enough to go. And even them, you know, like, I'm just having a conversation with him because I spoke fast. And he admitted that because I spoke fast and he couldn't catch everything I was saying. He's like, oh, you sound a little bit, you know, argumentative. Your tone's gone up. If I hear that one more time, your tone, why are you listening to my tone? It doesn't matter if I'm screaming or crying or singing or jumping for joy or whatever it is that I'm doing. Why are you listening to my tone? When you've asked me a question, is my answer not more important than how the answer comes across? I don't understand that. You've asked me a question. How I portray it to you it shouldn't matter. If I scream it at you, it doesn't matter. You asked me a question, I gave you the answer. How I gave it to you shouldn't matter. You're missing the words. So I had I had to step back for a minute and just take a breath, let him realize what was going on. And after he realized what he'd said and what he caught up with, and his brain caught up with everything that I was saying, and that I wasn't saying anything offensive, he actually apologized and said, it made sense. I just hadn't blah, 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 blah. Stop jumping to conclusions. It's exhausting. It's utterly, absolutely exhausting. So, okay, so I have some things to do. Eagle. Okay, sorry, I got a slow connection here. Hang on. My darling, your words need to be heard. Does that mean that you can't hear me, or that you're actually hearing what I say and those were good words? I get told my video doesn't go out a lot, but thank you. Yes, it's truth, right? It's truth. You walk out the door and somebody has something to say and all they hear is the tone. Well, I got yelled at, or I got put down, or I didn't like how that came across. We're listening for vibrations. We're listening for that sweet little voice that comes out like this, like the little Disney princesses that always talk so happy. They're so like everything. That's not reality. That's not reality. Stop listening for tones. You need to listen in between. It's about the words that are coming out. So I had another pastor who's listening to my tone. He's not listening to my words. And he almost lost another sheep yet again. If you're going to go to church, if you're going to go to Bible college specifically, if you're going to be qualified as a teacher, if you think that you have the right to stand up and teach anybody anything, I don't care if you're teaching them how to blow snot rockets. If you are teaching somebody something, you are a teacher. And with great power comes great responsibility. If you have the title teacher and you've got anybody looking at you, even yourself looking at you, you are teaching yourself or somebody else something. What are you doing? Do you understand the influence? Do you understand how important your words and your tone and your actions are while you're standing there judging all of mine? It's completely contradictory. It doesn't make any sense. So that's my rant on tones and the church. It frustrates me so much. I'm so frustrated and I can't decide what I'm frustrated about. Am I frustrated the fact that I got frustrated with the pastor and the tone came across? There were things that I should have said. Yeah, I'm frustrated with myself. There are things that I should have said to the man that could have made a difference, other than you need Jesus a hell of a lot more than I do. So I have to work on that. We'll work on that. My temper, okay? We're working on 40 years of autopilot is what you see in front of you. I'm like everybody else. I'm like what my parents have taught me, my parents' parents, and all the DNA running through your blood and everything that I've been taught. I've got 40 years I'm trying to break out of my system. 40 years of just like everybody does. You walk down the street and nobody thinks before they act. Nobody thinks before they speak. I'm trying to break that. I'm trying to just take that minute where you breathe for just a second before you even say hello to somebody. Are you sure you want to say hello? Are you sure about the hello? Are you sure about everything around you before you proceed? And it only takes less than a second. You don't look like an idiot. Just take a minute and then hello. You don't look like an idiot. And if you do, it's worth it. I'm hearing you loud and clear. What I'm saying is there are two parts to communication: speaking and listening. Some people need to close their mouth and open their ears. I absolutely agree with that. I think that so many people spend so much time talking, and it doesn't matter if it's verbal or you're writing or you're singing. It doesn't matter. Whatever form of communication people are using, it's too much. It's too much, and they're not paying attention to anything. Everybody's afraid of their own voices. Let's start there. Let's start where you can sit for 30 seconds with yourself. How dare you allow your voice to open, anything to come out of you when you're not even sure who you are? Every one of those, the bio is on dating sites. Those are the most, those really get me. I love those. The people always say, I don't know what to put here in the bio description part. That's a problem. That's a problem. For you to go out into the world and get into any kind of relationship, brothership, have a child, get a dog, get a partner, get a lover, doesn't matter, any kind of relationship out there, and you can't fill out your own describe yourself box, you need to go home and you need to learn how to fill that out. You need to learn what you want before you go out there and tell the world, fix me. Or, I don't know what I want, so I'm going to dabble in this, and I'm going to play around with you here, and I'm going to drag you through this, and I'm going to give you a piece of that and take a piece of that from you. I get so many people that come to me. You're so positive. I think you're just wonderful. Can you teach me how to do that? And these are on the dating site specifically. I'll stick with that. No. I am 40 years old. I am learning on my own for the first time in my life how to fly on my own. I'm learning how to think by myself, for myself, about myself. I'm learning everything, and I am positive because I've chosen to be. I have chosen that I deserve to be positive. I deserve this confidence. I deserve a lot of things, and the last thing on earth I deserve is another child. I have 3. I gave birth to 3. That was what I wanted to do. I wanted to have 3 children, so I did. They're 20, 18, and 17. I don't raise them. The minute they're old enough to, the minute they come out of you, you shouldn't be raising them anything. You should be giving them consistent options. It is completely up to them what they want to learn. Do you want to walk, or do you want to crawl for the rest of your life? But we're going to label you if you can't walk at a certain time. We're going to label you if you can't talk a certain way at a certain age. You're incompetent, you're this or that. Really? Do you have any idea what goes through that child's brain? Do you realize how much smarter children are than us? They're absolutely unstoppable. That's why between the birth and the ages of 5, the world does everything they can to shove everything they can into that child. They say the first 5 years are the most important years of that child's life. Why? Why? When they also balance it with kids are stupid. They don't understand anything. Children are to be seen and not heard. They're to be put in the background. They're just to be ignored. Their imagination is all they are. They don't know a damn thing. I have to teach them everything. Actually, no. Kids taught us everything. Kids can teach us things that we can't even fathom. We tell kids that there's no imagination, that snowmen can't talk. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? With the things that we have today, with the technology we've come up with the imagination that has come true, with the dreams that have come true today, you have the audacity to say the words can't to anybody? At any age, at any point in time, you have the audacity to say that. So between the ages of 0 and 5 is the most important stage of a child's life. And it's not to teach a child a goddamn thing, because clearly we're messing up. What we've been taught and what's been taught for generations and what is going to continue to be taught for generations hasn't worked, isn't working, and won't work. You know why? Because the minute you come out of me, I tell you what to do. It's my way or the highway. Daddy tells you what to do, the teachers tell you what to do, the pastors, the doctors take you and prick your feet and do things to you without us parents even knowing. I have absolutely no idea what was pricked into my feet and my children's feet at birth, and yet we hand our children over to these complete masked strangers to do whatever it is while we're recovering on the table, and we try to shove everything we can. Don't forget to breathe, don't forget to walk, don't forget to talk, don't forget to crawl, don't forget to do this, don't forget to do that. You gotta use your hands, don't use your hands. Give me a high five, don't give me a high five. This is the color blue, this is what this is. Stop it. This is what you think. This is what you've been told, and look how much you know. You're as dumb as I am. We're stupid, guys. We're stupid. Honestly, let's just look at the sun. Let's start with the sun. We honestly believe that it's a big ball of fire. Let's start there. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The things that we don't know could fill this earth with the things that we don't know. And yet we take our infants who are open-minded and could look at things in a way that we've never even considered, and we shove them full of everything that has not worked for us since the beginning of this fricking place. Why? Control. They want everybody to be in the same box, talking the same pattern, the same things. I knew when I was little I was different. I knew when I was little I didn't belong here. I knew when I was little I could fly, and snowmen do talk, and toys do come to life, and spoons can bend with your brain, and I can talk to you without my words, and I can self-heal my body, and this is not my body, and I can transform into different things, and I can do everything and anything. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. That's a good song, and it's true. It's true. I can do anything better than you, and you can do anything better than me. We'll always, that's the point. We're always like this. We're balanced, we're above, we're below. We're balanced, we're above, we're below. We're balanced, we're above, we're below. It is what it is. It just is. That's that's what we're supposed to be. We're all together. We're all learning. We're all adding to the puzzle piece. And yet somewhere along the line, somebody said, I want it my way. My daughter likes to create. She gets very, very frustrated, and she creates all these designs in her clothing and things, like example, her prom dress. She picked out this prom dress that was not hers. It was somebody else's design, but it was hers in her mind. Only she could have it. Somebody else took it, and she considered it. I understand that people like my style, and I find it flattering that they take my style, but when I create something, I want it to be mine. It is not yours here. If you would like something to be yours, lock it in your pretty little museum that you call a home, and don't let anybody touch it. But the second you share it with somebody, note the word share. I'm sharing this with you. That means the minute I let you look at it, see it, touch it, acknowledge that it's even been created, I, in some way, whether I ask for your opinion or not, I want it. I want you to acknowledge it. I want you to give me a glimmer in your eye, rather you say nothing to let me know you like it, or that little cloud that says that you don't. I want some form of approval or acceptance, or I really wanted to share it with you, but again, note the word share. The minute you open your hand, it's not yours. I don't see it the same way you do. This red lighter is not the same red lighter to you that it is to me. What you see me as in this camera right now that I'm looking at, the me that I see, is not the me that you see. You see a little bit of a darker color or a lighter color. My lips are moving a bit different, or you hear something different. Every one of you acknowledges and sees everything different. So if you share something that you've created with somebody, the second you open your hand and you show them that item or tell them about it, acknowledge its existence, they've already started to creatively make it what they would do. They see 1,000 different ways it can be used. They see 1,000 different colors, 1,000 things they can add to it or take away from it. What good is it? What good isn't it? They have their own creativity, whether you've asked for it or not. So be aware, if you create something and you want it 110,000% yours, first of all, somebody else is creating it. You're borrowing the different materials and things, and you're making something that's yours. But everything in that's yours is somebody else's. So even if you've made something that's never been made before, you too shares. You took pieces of what somebody else made or was already created somehow, somewhere, and you made it into something else. So even if it's yours, you've already shared it. So stop being so goddamn greedy. Open up your museum. Let the people touch. Let the people play. Let the people observe. Let the people create. That's what we're here for. We're not meant to have museums with artifacts that sit behind things. We're not meant to have big libraries of books where we sit there and read and read and read. It's nice to know this information. Should you be interested, that's great, but that's not life. We're not a museum. We're not meant to be a museum. We're meant to explore. We're meant to try everything. This is a world of experiences, and somehow we got lost in it should be my way or your way, and my perfection and my trip, and I planned this and I wanted that. Your very creation is not just you. The only thing that is just you is your essence, whatever the fuck is inside it. These words that are coming out, whatever that is, that's the only thing that will ever be just 110,000% yours. Even my body's not mine. I have DNA of my parents and thousands and thousands and thousands of people from generations that well, someday I'll know, but I know nothing about. This isn't mine. You guys contributed to this. I was told I had blue eyes and blonde hair and brown skin. Would I have picked all of what you see here? No, I would have made me quite a bit different. So I'm not me. And yet I keep trying to be me. We look in our mirrors and I want to find me. I want to be me. Well, stop looking at yourself, because that's not who you are. The world created that. You created that. And the doctors, your DNA. This is not you. When you look in that mirror and you're trying to find me, that's your essence. That's what you do with this that you've decided is you. Whether your body can move or not. The eyes that you blink and do Morse code. That's a form of language. What are you saying to the world? What imprint are you leaving on the world? Should you even leave an imprint? What right do you have to imprint anything, to cause any reaction? How about you just walk and do your own thing and just observe everyone around you? Be aware that yes, you can do anything. You can be as evil as you want to be. You can be as magical as you want to be. You can be as beautiful. You can be a combination. You can be up. You can be down. But what goes around does come around. Because anything you can do, I can do too. And I can find a way to hurt you more, and you can find a way to hurt me more, and we can keep going around, or we can find a way to realize that deep down we're only hurting each other. Why? Because it wasn't my way. My idea of love, my idea of happiness, my idea of family, my idea of perfection. We are looking for a form of control. The only thing you can control is you, so stop. Stop it. My partner didn't do this. I don't understand. I tried this. I tried that. Why? I've been trying for years to get my kids to see the dishes the way that I do, to know that they're important the way that I was taught, to understand things the way that I can't, and I shouldn't. They've taken me on adventures that are amazing because I've let them fly. What a hell of an adventure. Could you imagine how boring my life would have been if my kids did mold to what I wanted them to be? I would have 3 knees. And until this last year, I haven't liked me for my entire life. So why in heaven's name would I want 3 more miserable, unhappy knees running around? I don't. I want them the way they are. If I could go back in time with what I know today, I would teach nobody a thing. I would live my life my way. And if you happen to like what you see and chose to flow on my path, you are more than welcome. And if you ask questions, I will be honest, but take what you want and leave the rest. There is no gun to your head that ever says that when somebody lectures you or tells you what you have to do or what you should do, a doctor, a pastor, a counselor, doesn't matter. It is entirely in your hands what you do or if you do anything with that. And I would love the opportunity. I don't want to ever go back. Let me make that very clear to the universe. Don't you frickin' send me back. If I had to go back. I would want to be a lot more true to me. I remember as a little girl, something wasn't right. It was never right. I was new. I just didn't belong here. I was a Christian, and I stood on the side of the house, and my hands were up to the sky, and I'm like, God, I'll never be any happier than I am now. I've got my family. I have my dog, my bunnies, my life in Lanark. It's just, this is the epitome of perfection. I'm afraid if I live a day longer, I'll miss that perfection. I'll lose that perfection, and I don't want to lose this. I want to take what I have right now. I had my family. I had everything that I considered perfect in that moment, and I would beg again and again and again for him to take me home. I don't know why we're here. I don't know what here is. I know that we're prisoners. I know that this is hell. We are in hell. I mean, the sun burns us every day. Is that not the very description of the hell that we live in? It says that the demons will rip your limbs off and they will grow again. Well, can we not go and get machine arms? You know, if you lose an arm, it can grow back again. The things that are written in our Bible seem to be, very much happening. Ooh! Okay. It's okay. Nobody panic. It's just me. Okay, it's a bug. I really don't want to kill you. You're going to have to die. Stop moving, please. Please stop. Oh! Okay. I don't know if I killed it. I really didn't want to kill it. What do I do? Okay, I can do this. I'm so sorry. Please don't die. I'm trying very hard not to kill it. Okay, so the good news is nothing died. Look at that. Yep, that's right. Val, the girl who hates bugs. I don't hate. I do hate. I'll explain hate in a minute. The one that doesn't like bugs very much, I just successfully removed a bug from my house, panicked a little bit. I'm not having a mental breakdown. My insides want to. I saved a bug. Huh. I didn't kill a bug. It was only an ant. You don't understand how big that is for me. Huh. Oh. See, that's the after effects. Oh, I can do this. I'm in control of my body. I have no fear of insects and bugs. Why do they bug me? It's kind of funny. I heard somewhere the other day, you want to come on up? Hang on. My toes are getting cold. Come on up. Up. So I read something the other day, or heard something the other day, one of my 10,000 videos that I've been watching, that apparently every single person on this earth is afraid of some sort of animal or creature. Snakes, bugs, bunnies, butterflies, doesn't matter what it is. Everybody here is afraid of some thing, some creature. I find that quite odd. Why? I don't understand why I'm afraid of the stupid little things. Well, my mom says, when I was little, a feather fell on my face and I freaked out. She thinks that might have been the case. I feel like if that was the case, I would have been afraid of feathers. I know I stepped on a bumblebee when I was a child. I had no fear until I saw my brother, who moments later stepped on a bug, a bumblebee. We got stung at the same time. I had no fear. I understood something was going on. I understood that it was uncomfortable, but it wasn't anything more than just, oh, this is uncomfortable. Until I looked over and I saw my brother. He was in pain. I assumed he must have gotten stung as well. At that time, I didn't quite know until I was in the house and confirmed. But I chased after him. I'm like, oh my God, my brother is afraid. Now, my brother doesn't get afraid. Ben is like, he's like the man, right? He's the one who jumps off bridges and he just like does whatever. And he was showing immense fear. And ran in the house looking for Mom. Like, what the hell? This is my strong little brother running in the house looking for Mom because he stepped on a bee. Should I be afraid? Is something bad? Like, did something bad happen? I wasn't necessarily in immense pain, but I was more at the point like, did something bad happen? Should I be afraid of what I just stepped on, what we experienced? So when I got inside, my mom was coddling my brother, and that meant the world to me. My mom was important to me. I didn't have a close relationship with my mother. So seeing her coddle Ben, I was excited. I thought, oh my goodness, you know, Ben's getting a cuddle. I'm hurt too. I'm going to get a cuddle too. So I went in to get a cuddle from my mom, which was weird. I don't normally want things like that from my mom. We weren't close, but it was a moment. I was in some form of pain. I was a little bit scared because my brother was scared and excited that my mom was cuddling my brother. So I went to go join. I said, I was stung too. And she turns to me and says, go inside and put your feet in the mud. Now, I'm not a child psychologist, but if I was to point blame on how they like to blame where things come from, that could have been a source, obviously. The fear caused from my brother, the pain that I wasn't entirely sure was there, wasn't quite there, would have been gone already if I hadn't been in the fear that my brother was experiencing, so I was making the pain last longer because I was in fear, and then I was rejected by my mom. So I have a feeling that has a lot to do with my issues with bugs. And I find it annoying because I find it minuscule and ridiculous. I've accepted the relationship that my mom and I had. It was what it was. I've learned a lot because of my mom, and I appreciate her in a way that I can never tell her. We just simply can't be, and it is what it is. But I appreciate that I can see her now the way that I didn't see her before. So I'm wondering how come this bug thing is still, I'm still thinking about the bug. I just got jitterbugs again. Why is it still an issue? If it's a psychological thing, why is it still an issue? If it's not a psychological thing in regards to my mother and what happened that day, what the hell is the problem and how do I get over this fear of bugs? I am 40 and I run like an idiot. You should see me. I have jumped out of my moving vehicles because a bee, you want to see me with a bee? Oh my God, manic. I'm just ridiculous with bugs. So this is something I'm working on. It needs to end. This needs to end. I feel like I had 1,500 things to do today, and I said that at the beginning of this video that I don't even know when it started, and I have accomplished absolutely nothing. I haven't even... How did we get onto these talks? Hello, Em. Hey, Nikki. How's it going, girls? What are you two up to today? I'm just, well, you already see I'm here at the house. I don't need to tell you what I'm doing. I'm here. I can't go out today. I want to be out today. Kicking my ass that I'm not out today. I've been out every day for the last week. I got some sort of brown spots starting to grow on my forehead. I don't know if you can see them or not. I'm a little tired. So we're here, and we're doing some stuff. These are my new bracelets that I picked up the other day. Super excited. Again, we're exploring things, so let me make it very clear when I say that I have no beliefs. Do I believe these do anything based on what I've looked up or just in general? No, absolutely not. It's just an exciting placebo effect should anything happen. I'm very aware that it's kind of like that sugar pill effect. I've read things, I've heard things, I'm exploring things, so should something happen, I'm very well aware it's a placebo effect, but I also like the idea of a placebo effect because I'm working on things that I'm trying to break, things that have been taught to me for many years, and to do that I'm really struggling with that. As humans, we're very set in our paths, right? So as a born Christian that is no longer a Christian but still has, I still like to look back. There's still a lot of good words in the books. I'm dabbling into things, not dabbling, I guess, dabbling my toes into things that I've never experienced before. So I have bracelets. This one is they call it a grounding bracelet. It has wood on it, which is actually really funny because doing the research, wood is actually not a grounder. This one is your magnetic bracelet. The magnetic hermitite, I believe it's called. It's supposed to like regulate or balance out your magnets and stuff like that, because we're flesh and yet we are filled with magnetic things. We're not. We are. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. And then this third one has three different stones in it. One of them is the hermitite stone. It's not magnetic, but it is the hermitite. I don't remember what it does on its own. There's the tiger eye, and I don't remember the third one. All I know is I picked them out at a fair. That tells you how much I know about them, right? The fact that I don't know enough about them, which is good. If I don't know too much about anything, it gives me an opportunity to look at everything through my eyes. It's enough to know a little bit of everything, and I can decide how far I want to go, what I want to add to it, what I want to take from it, and when I want to walk away. So I like that I know the basis of these. I really like the sound. I'm enjoying jewelry. I haven't worn jewelry, showed up my face jewelry in a while, so I'm just enjoying them. If I turn you around here, over here, just bear with me a moment. My camera is super fun. Okay, so you can already see right up here, you can see it up here. That is my prism. I just picked that up the other day. That one is a chocolate prism. It's been orange-ish yellow since I brought it home, but when I was out in the woods it was blue, so I'm curious to know. I don't know, just really pretty. I like the different angles. Prisms offer a different variety. They offer a billion different angles, which I'm thoroughly intrigued with. I want to see things in millions of different ways. And of course it gives off light that my cat loves. And then if you see just below it, I have my dream catcher. I don't put it above my bed because the story is that dream catchers catch your dreams, correct? So I don't want them catching my dreams. I actually enjoy my dreams and gain control of them now. I'm going on adventures and learning a lot of things, so I don't want to lose my dreams. But I like it and I appreciate that it was handmade from a friend of mine. So I put it in my window instead of above my bed, just trying to be cautious and careful with all of the things that I do and don't believe in. I got a few new books. I have a new scented candle today. It's supposed to give off energy. It's lemongrass and white sage. I picked up a couple feathers just because they're super pretty. Again, no belief in anything. If my parents were watching this, they'd assume I'm a witch. I'm not brewing shit. I'm exploring everything. I did a card reading for the first time the other day. That was absolutely fascinating. My God, it blew my mind. And then I had a moment with Penny yesterday where I can't even explain it. I don't know. I'm on a journey that, I don't know. It's pretty amazing. It's just, I don't know. It's mine. I've never had anything that was just mine before, and I don't know. My pastor's running from me, and my family's running from me, and it doesn't faze me at all. I'm liking me. I know things that I can't explain. Well, let's see what I was looking into last night. You know what? Here, I'll show you exactly some things that we were into. So, well, there's my Pinocchio. Ignore my walls. I'm waiting for my handyman to come and to give me paint so I can paint. I think I've already told you that. I think I've already told you that. Oh, my walls are so gross. Okay, so, actually, I'll bring you here. Okay, so what are some of the things that I've been looking into? All right, so First Corinthians was amazing. Kind of really came right out and told you what your body was. Let's see. Okay, I'm not going to read far into this, but I'll read a little bit of it because, you guys are on here and you're part of my world and I'm showing you what I'm into. So here's what we're into. So we have 1 Corinthians chapter 6 is where it brought me the other day. Lawsuits among believers. If any of you have a dispute with another, do you dare to take it before the ungodly for judgment instead of before the Lord's people? So going to court, right? Instead of church. Or do you not know that the Lord's people will judge the world? And if you were to judge the world, are you not competent to judge trivial cases? That is a very good point. Do you not know that we will judge angels? How much more the things of this life? Therefore, if you have disputes about such matters, do you ask for a ruling from those whose way of life is scorched in the church? It's really good points here. I say this to shame you. Is it possible that there is nobody among you wise enough to judge a dispute between believers? Like, seriously, we consistently get everybody involved in our own business. Are we not capable of dealing with our own shit? But instead, one brother takes another to court, and this is in front of unbelievers. The very fact that you have lawsuits among you means you have been completely defeated already. Why not rather be wronged? Why not rather be cheated? Instead, you yourselves cheat and do wrong, and you do this to your brothers and sisters. Or do you not know that wrongdoers will not inherit the kingdom of God? Do not be deceived. Neither the sexually immoral, nor idlers, nor adulterers, nor men who have sex with men, nor thieves, nor the greedy, nor drunkards, nor slanderers, nor swindlers will inherit the kingdom of God. And that is what some of you were, but you were washed, you were sanctified, you were justified in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ and by the Spirit of our God. So that goes off a little bit at the end. Do I believe that they're talking about adulterers and gay people and sexually immoral and drunkards and slanderers not getting into the kingdom of heaven? No, that's not what they said. It says that you'll not get into the kingdom of God. And according to the Bible, the kingdom of God is here on earth. So you are already here on earth. You're already in the kingdom of God. You yourself can get out of this. You just gotta, whatever it is that you think that you're doing wrong, I'm not going to tell you that sleeping around or being drunk or being greedy or being a thief or being an adulterer, I can't tell you that those are right or those are wrong. I simply can't do that. You have to decide for yourself what you believe is actually right or wrong. I cannot. I mean, I can sit here and one of the pastors from the Evergreen Church the other day, he said that himself. He goes, well, he said, so are you telling me that somebody who has slaughtered thousands of babies should go to heaven? He's like, I can't agree with that. And I said, well, that goes against your Bible that says that Jesus forgave all sins when he died on the cross. He did not say, I forgive all sins, but if you do this, that, and the other thing, you burn. I said, God says that. God consistently tells you that he gave you salvation. Jesus died for your sins and you're going to go to heaven. And then he turns around and says, but if you fuck up, you're going to hell. I said, Jesus never said that. Jesus said, forgive your brother again and again and again and again and again. It just is what it is. So am I to judge the murderers, the rapists, the thieves, the liars? They did not get born that way. They did not just come out of their mama's coochies and decide to be a disgusting human being. And I'm so sorry, I will take that back, disgusting human being. Again, there's judgment. They did not decide to make the choices that they're making. There's a reason. It's not an excuse, it's an explanation. And considering what you've done, the thoughts that you've thought, they may not be in your term as bad as a murderer or as a rapist, but on whose scale? On whose scale is you being a liar not as bad as a rapist? I mean, that's a hard thing to say, right? That if you put it on the two scales, like the Libra that has the two scales, one would outweigh the other. But would it? According to the Bible, no. Jesus died for all sins, so they're all equal. All of our sins are equal. And if you can figure that out and realize that all of us don't want to actually hurt each other, that's not what we want. There are reasons that have brought us to what we choose to do, and that's an understanding. Again, it's not an excuse why you choose to do what you do, but it's an understanding. All can be and should be forgiven, and it's not up to me to forgive you. It is not up to me to forgive you. If you do me wrong, it is up to me to decide if I want you in my life or not, but it's not up to me to forgive you. I can't wipe that clean. You have to decide if that's wiped clean. Are you going to do it to me again? I guess time will tell, but for me to forgive you says that it's gone forever. It's not. Clearly, it's back in the back of my mind. Clearly, it's affected many things. It's caused reactions. I cannot lie to you and say that it's gone, it's forgotten just because I forgive you. That's a lie. When I say I forgive you, I'm lying to you. I'm lying to you. I cannot forgive you because because it is not gone. You have messed up so many things. When I say things like I forgive you, it should mean I forgive you as in I accept that in this moment you recognize what you did was wrong, and together I guess we're taking a leap of faith that it's not going to happen again. But if it happens again, it's my choice again and your choice again, and here we are again. But it goes kind of round and round and round and round and round. So that's one of the things that I was reading into. That wasn't the chapter I specifically wanted to show you. This one was fascinating. This is a website. Oh, I don't have you turned around. It's called CDLI, Cuneiform Digital Library Initiative. I discovered this the other day on a movie that I had found on YouTube, a gentleman that's absolutely brilliant. It has everything you can imagine. That is the flood tablet right there in front of me. That is right. You are looking at the flood tablet. It has everything you can imagine transcribed from around the world, archives, artifacts, it has everything you can possibly imagine. It's just I'm so excited. I can't wait to look into that one more. Okay, where were we with this one? Oh, this one is where we came with Aunt Penny last night. The blue opal. I won't get into how this came across. That's an explanation that some people may find in your terminology crazy, but this was unbelievable. That came up to me last night. Had to do with relation to my aunt. This is the rabbit trails that I'm going down, like amorphous mineraloid. I got into that because of the blue opal. I got into the meaning of the word mineraloid because of the blue opioid. Here we're in amorphous solids. That's unbelievable. That was a world that got me very intrigued. That's why these are all open. Okay, so these ones all have to do with the blue opal. Then we got into her sign. She's a Scorpio. I'm not big into horoscopes and things. They're just like going to a psychic. You can just easily tell anybody anything off of anything. I just found it kind of neat that our hand, there's the letter M. Let's see if I can, I don't know if you can see it on your own, but there's an M. So all hands apparently have an M, and this one was saying, you're special if you have an M. Well, you're not special if everybody has an M. That makes no difference. But it was neat that the scorpion happened to have come up with the M sign, because I was looking into the M the other day. Things just seem to coincide. So I was looking at the scorpion, and I thought it neat when you go into it, the scorpion's tail is more of an arrow than it actually is a tail. And if you go into where it is in the solar system, oh, that's not the one. If you go into where it is in the solar system, it shows here that this is where the tail, or the arrow is what it looks like, is the arrow is. And if you look over here at the Libra, because this is the Libra is the end of the month of October, and the Scorpion is the beginning of the month. If you look at the Libra, does this not look like a bow? If that looks like a bow and that looks like an arrow, this shoots, like you can even see, it goes directly into that. So if that's shooting forward, it goes right into the Virgo, and then that took me on my own little trail last night. I found that quite interesting. And the fact that there are 12 signs, and they just discovered a 13th. There's 13 of everything. 13 is important. There's 13 apostles. That's Jesus and his 12 apostles. There are a judge and 12 juror members when you go to court. 13 is everywhere. So this is the 13th. It's the newest one. You'll notice that it is not attached to the pathway of the other ones too. So I got into that one. That's where... Yep, that one was already brought up. That's where we got into this one. Okay, so I don't remember how we got into Virgo. Virgo has to do with my dad. It's funny that it also has the M. I noticed they say it's a loop here. They can't decipher what the loop is, but if you look at the loop from a distance, that's a fish. That's a fish. It looks like the Christian sign that they've got of the fish, that Jesus sign that they give. I don't know. There was just a lot in that, so that's where that one took me. Oh, yeah, see? Here. See? It looks to me like a fish. They seem to can't be able to decipher it. That's really funny. I looked at it and I instantly saw that. Then we got into the horoscope of March 20th. Oh, that was in regards to my dad and Virgo. Oh, this was telling you about that new horoscope that we just saw the other day. That was fascinating. I wanted to know. Oh, I wanted to look at it. Apparently, you can only see this horoscope sign is only visible in the month of July at 9 p.m. So I've been trying to see it. Of course, you can't, because the bloody clouds are so thick you can't see a damn thing. Oh, then we got into the meaning of pap smears. Well, that one doesn't need to be up.
but I wanted to know the meaning behind that. The actual wording in that one. That was random. Sorry, guys. That was part of our trail. The black pearl isn't something that we were specifically looking into. I kept it up because that's what my Aunt Petty mentioned. Everything is mentioned for a reason, but that's not part of the things that I was looking into. This was important. The rose quartz was something that my Aunt Penny picked up in a necklace the other day. The meaning behind it obviously stuck right to me. I obviously knew why she was brought to the rose quartz. Healing crystal, that one doesn't have anything to do with me or any meaning behind it, but the stone of unconditional love, my aunt is just, there's so much in her. I think it's neat that the zodiac sign is the Taurus, which is not anything to do with Penny. I don't quite know where the relationship there came in, but the Libra, again, that's the end of October. That's where Louisa comes in. The two are here in my life for a reason. Venus again represents my dad. The water sign, that's mine. The number 7, that made sense. There's grandma, grandpa, Penny, dad, and Julie. That's the siblings. So there's 5. And then my grandpa had an illegitimate child. So there's 6. And then my Aunt Penny had 1 child. There is 7. So the number 7 obviously goes hand in hand with my Penny. It just coincided there. So that's where we got on the rose quartz. Found that was quite neat. She also picked the skull. There was a skull on the rose quartz. She didn't know there was a skull on that one, but everything happens for a reason. So we got into the skull. The skull obviously represents death, but not in the negative way as in dead. It is a hopeful celebration of everlasting life, since the skull is what remains of a person after the flesh and everything's rotted away. It's everlasting. So it's a permanent reminder that that person existed, a reminder of the person who it belonged to as well. So just a permanent reminder to say, hey guys, I was here. I thought that was really cool. So then after that, we got back to black obsidian. This is the stone that my Aunt Penny's actually really wanted for a while. There's a reason behind that. I haven't gotten a chance to look into it, but her sign, of course, is in here, the Scorpion. So that has meaning. And then I thought that it was pretty neat that it's a highly regarded protective stone, known for its ability to block, absorb, and transform negative energy. Obsidian is believed to be a stone of clarity with the ability to release emotional, physical, and spiritual blockages, drawing out stress and tension. Of course, again, reminding you guys that I don't believe in anything, but I'm dabbling into everything. It's good to have knowledge. If we're on repeat and I'm stuck coming back here, I'd like to at least have some knowledge of what I'm coming back to and what the hell's going on, and maybe we can find a break out of this place. And the black obsidian again. So this is kind of my adventure. I like, here's the black. Yeah, protection, purification. I liked this. The transformation, the metamorphosis, the manifestation, and the physical ability, the psychic ability, that's got my attention. There's more to us than meets the eye. There's things that they don't want us to know. I don't know who they are, what that is. Conspiracy theories are everywhere. They're everywhere. And I'm tired of theories. I'm tired of conspiracies. I'm tired of everything. I'm tired. So I don't get involved in anything because everything is, some of it is a lie, some of it is a truth. There is a negative and positive in everything. So every lie has something good in it and every truth has something bad in it. So dabble a little bit of everything, but not enough of anything. And just give me a minute. I have to run to the washroom. So I will prop you. Oh, I guess I can prop you. No, I can't. It just fell. That's wonderful. Let's see. I'll see if I can prop you and look out my window. Ella just enjoying this air conditioning here. She loves my air conditioner. Can I get you to stand? Come on. Don't be a pain. Okay, there we go. I will be right back. I just have to run to the washroom. Take a look at my gem, see what it does.
I'm back. Catch anything magical on my little prism there. I'd be super pissed if you guys saw something that I didn't see. I'm doing all this for something. Alright. Time to get serious. I need to do some shopping. So let's do some shopping. We'll start with Dante's shoes. And then we will go from there. Alright, I got order these today. Ooh, I wonder. I need 17 wide. Is the price the same? No, of course not. So, how are you guys today? What's new and exciting? What's everybody up to? Did anybody go to the fireworks on Canada Day? That was a high-pitched weirdness in my voice. Yeah, did anybody go to Canada Day? The events. I went to the ones here in Smith Falls. I spent the day there. I went alone. I ran into my Aunt Penny. We ended up spending the day there with Aiden. And then I went back later that night for the live music. It was really good music. Highly disappointed with the fact that it was super, super slow and depressing music. That was kind of what the hell. So, whatever. But it was really well done. We stayed for the fireworks. I haven't gone to see the fireworks in a few years because they've been so short, it just hasn't been worth it. But this year, it was about 10 minutes, but the length really doesn't matter. You need to stop looking at the negative part of things. The fact is that they took the time to give us fireworks. I mean, it's not like that's a cheap thing to put on. So I appreciate the effort that they put in. I appreciate the beautiful things that we got to see. It was kind of surprising. We have LeBeau here. We have the tourists. We've got Hershey coming back, and yet Smith Falls is still big on not doing much of anything. We had 4 or 5 booths for the vendors. They closed down at 4 o'clock. And then we had a magic show for kids because, everything's kid-related. And that closed down at about 5 o'clock. And then there was some music and stuff like that, the live music at about 7 o'clock. But there was nothing between, 5 and 7. And everything's for the kids unless you drink. So, I kind of find that frustrating that there really isn't much of anything to do for kids or for adults unless you drink. They don't have, the world's not meant for adults. It's weird. There's a lot of stuff for kids. There's parks everywhere. There's things for dogs and stuff. Where do you go when you're a big kid? I'm a big kid. I don't drink. I would love to go to a big adult playground and swing on adult swings and go down an adult slide. Come on, guys. Where do we belong once we grow up? Or what do we do once we're all grown up? The world isn't made for us to be in once we grow up. So, I don't know. Ellie, you got to stop moving up, man. They're pushing my thing over. Okay, we're going to do an order on Amazon. I got to get Dante some shoes, sugar snaps. There was something I saw that my daughter needed, and I can't remember what it was. Oh my gosh. There was something I wanted to get, and I can't remember what it was. That is absolutely... Alexa, connect to Spotify. Open Spotify on the device you'd like to connect from. Have devices available and then to your Alexa device. Damn it, I have to do work. There's a song that I have become absolutely obsessed with. Hang on. We Should Be Drinking Alone by Carrie Underwood. It is absolutely one of my... It's become a good song. So I'm not going to sing the whole thing because I don't know it, but I'll get to where you are at, I suppose, because I can't put music on here. I forgot that. So if you know it, sing it home. It's called Drinking Alone by Carrie Underwood. I've just become obsessed with the tune. It's just, I don't know.
Let me make one thing clear. You can buy me a beer, but you ain't taking me home. No pickup lines. I came here tonight to shed a few tears of my own. Sitting here across the room, I couldn't help but notice you seemed a little down on your love. My heart might be breaking, but this seat ain't taken. Sorry, I'm working on the song. This is complicated. And you've got me thinking we should be drinking alone together. Drowning the pain is better with somebody else who's got problems. We ain't gonna solve them. My misery loves company. Tonight all I need is a stranger. Okay, I won't do the rest because I don't know it, but it's really, 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 really good, and I just totally destroyed it. But that is the song that I've been trying to learn. I don't know what it is about that song. It's got my attention. The tone. Okay, we don't need to, I'm going to find, I'd like to purchase some black obsidian, but I like it to be raw. I don't want it to be all like, I don't know what they do when they take it from raw and they make it like pretty and shiny. Do they add something to it? Unpolished. Oh, they don't polish them. Okay, so I definitely want one that's, I'm saying, oh, see, this is polished. Oh, I wonder if the polish makes a difference. Obviously it does. It's not a natural product, right? Something to make it pretty. Okay, so I put in pure black obsidian. Yeah, they've got so many shiny ones. It's not, I like the real deal. Look like? Where would you get? This shouldn't be so complicated. Why is it so complicated to get the raw stone? But it is so easy and cheap to purchase it in the other form. Huh. Raw crystals. Okay, so there's one. Why is it so complicated to get it? I don't understand. So I can purchase it tweaked for nothing. But if I would like to have the original, untouched, where you can pick it from like the mine or the ground or wherever you get it, it's 10 times more really hard to find. Okay. That makes sense. Black obsidian crystallized. So I wonder if there is a black obsidian mine near me. I remember my mom took us to a cave one time. Where was that cave? Obsidian mines. Oh, it's a natural volcanic rock. Huh. Alright, so let's see. Buy pure glass. leave it at that. See what it comes up with. I wonder if there's, that's, what do you think? I wonder if the trading post would have that. The trading post here in Smith Falls has some stuff like that. Well, it's a bit of a walk. I found it close on the time she's off work, though. Closes at 5. That's a hell of a walk for today, though. What do I do? What do I do? Are they open tomorrow? I'm talking to you guys as if, you know, you can answer me. Oh, they are. Okay, don't panic. All right, so we won't order the Black Obsidian. We're going to wait until we get into, until we get into there tomorrow. I think that makes a hell of a lot more sense. Let's do that. So if I can get it in person, let's get it in person. Pure. My computer drives me nuts. I guess instead of hearing me sing, you guys can be listening to the Book of Genesis with me. I know you're so excited. It's so exciting. You know what? I really shouldn't do this to you. I want to listen to the other book, and I can't because it's so quiet. But that doesn't mean it's the only version of that book. All right. Let's see if I can find another book where it's a little bit louder. The Tom Robbins book, because I really, this is a fascinating book. I just need it to be louder. No, it's not going to work. Alright, so it is the Book of Genesis. That really does suck.
The garden path was narrowly explained. Besides, it would be unseemly to approach His Holiness all in a bunch. Switters was to go first. If his weapon had not been confiscated at the last security checkpoint, he might have insisted on bringing up the rear. But now it didn't matter.
Can you guys let me know if you can hear this? Because if you can't hear this, then I'll put something else on.
Obliged to kneel upon reaching the throne, the cardinal had generously conceded. Switters wondered if, nevertheless, he would be expected to kiss the
Can you guys hear that? Let me know.
The way I'm smooching that ring, he thought, except they paste a crumb of hashish on it, or else smear it with pussy juice or red-eye gravy. As he thought that, he was remembering an actress he
Yes.
used to.
No. Maybe. That's okay. I'll go back. I'll put it in the Book of Genesis. You guys are not working with me. Actually. Huh.
God doesn't care if you're mad and angry. He wants you to talk to him either way. So,
The first and second books of Adam and Eve, read by Christopher Glenn. Book 1, Chapter 1. On the third day, God planted the garden in the east of the earth, on the border of the world westward, beyond which, towards the sun rising, one finds nothing but water that encompasses the whole world, and reaches unto the borders of heaven. And to the north of the garden there is a sea of wafer, clear and pure to the taste, like unto else, so that through the clearness thereof one may look into the depths of the earth. And when a man washes himself in it, becomes clean of the cleanness thereof, and white of its whiteness, even if he were dark. And God created that sea of his own
Come on,
good
don't
pleasure.
start mucking up now.
He knew what would come of the man he should make, so that after he had left the garden on account of his transgression, men should be born in the earth, from among whom righteous ones would die, whose souls God would raise at the last day,
Okay.
when they should return to their flesh, should bathe in the water of that sea.
Oh my god. I need a new tripod. You guys are probably laughing your ass at my phone consistently falling. Please stay.
The first and second books of Adam and Eve, read by Christopher Glenn. Book 1, Chapter 1. On the third day, God planted the garden in the east of the earth, on the border of the world westward, beyond which, towards the sun rising, one finds nothing but water that encompasses the whole world and reaches unto the borders of heaven. And to the north of the garden there is a sea of wafer, clear and pure to the taste, like unto nothing else, so that through the clearness thereof one may look into the depths of the earth. And when a man washes himself in it, becomes clean of the cleanness thereof, and white of its whiteness, even if he were dark. And God created that sea of his own good pleasure, for he knew what would come of the man he should make, so that after he had left the garden on account of his transgression, men should be born in the earth, from among whom righteous ones.
We're going to put Genesis on hold for a minute because I can't hear it very well, which is okay because there's many others that we can put on that are super loud, that are super intriguing. I've been watching After Death Experiences as well. There's a commonality to those that are starting to bother me. I don't like it. Let's see what we got here. Tom Robbins has my attention. I don't know why.
How would the world change if an ancient book suddenly revealed terrifying knowledge about the human race? This could be exactly the case with a 2,000-year-old Bible that was hidden by the church and only survived by chance. The Book of Enoch had disappeared from the collective memory of mankind for more than a millennium and is now returning. Only a few monks in Ethiopia knew all along how important this scripture would one day be for mankind and why it is returning now.
I knew the Book of Enoch was going to come back up again. Alright, it's time to finish it. I've only been attempting to read this 1,500 times. Can't seem to get through it. Gonna try again. Here we go.
Can you guess who is currently studying for an MBA at Fred? This is Sarah and this is Alex. Two
And water and discharges itself in
Shalom, friend.
Ouch.
Today I wanted to give you a wonderful gift. The Jewish book of
the Book of the Watchers, from the Book of Enoch. Chapter 1. The words of the blessing of Enoch, wherewith he blessed the elect and righteous, who will be living in the day of tribulation, when the wicked and godless are to be removed. And he took up his parable and said, Enoch, a righteous man, whose eyes were opened by God, saw the vision of the Holy One in the heavens, which the angels showed me. And from them I heard everything, and from them I understood as I saw, but not for this generation, but for a remote one, which is for to come. Concerning the elect, I said, and took up my parable concerning them. The Holy Great One will come forth from his dwelling, and the eternal God will tread upon the earth, even on Mount Sinai, and appear from his camp, and appear in the strength of his might from the heaven of heavens. And all shall be smitten with fear, and the watchers shall quake, and great fear and trembling shall seize them unto the ends of the earth. And the high mountains shall be shaken, and the high hills shall be made low, and shall melt like wax before the flame. And the earth shall be wholly rent in sunder, and all that is upon the earth shall perish, and there shall be judgment upon all men. But with the righteous he will make peace, and will protect the elect, and mercy shall be upon them, and they shall all belong to God, and they shall all be prospered, and they shall all be blessed, and he will help them all. And light shall appear unto them, and he will make peace with them. And behold, he cometh with 10,000s of his holy ones, to execute judgment upon all, and to destroy all the ungodly, and to convict all flesh of all the works of their ungodliness, which they have ungodly committed, and of all the hard things which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. Chapter 2. Observe ye everything that takes place in the heaven, how they do not change their orbits, and the luminaries which are in the heaven, how they all rise and set in order, each in its season, and transgress not against their appointed order. Behold ye the earth, and give heed to the things which take place upon it, from first to last, how steadfast they are, how none of the things upon earth change, but all the works of God appear to you. Behold the summer and the winter, how the whole earth is filled with water, and clouds and dew and rain lie upon it. Chapter 3. Observe and see how in the winter all the trees seem as though they had withered and shed all their leaves, except 14 trees which do not lose their foliage, but retain the old foliage from 2 to 3 years, till the new comes. Chapter 4. And again observe ye the days of summer, how the sun is above the earth over against it, and you seek shade and shelter by reason of the heat of the sun. And the earth also burns with growing heat. And
so, in my opinion, what they're saying here, notice, if you will, how nothing changes unless it's placed there. There's no trail, there's no link, there's endless missing links. Where the hell are the links? There's no link to where humans came from, animals, earth. There's no links. They're just there. And then it says, do you notice the sun, how it burns? You're seeking shelter and shade all the time. Well, is that not again what the Bible describes as hell? You will burn day and night? You will always be burning? That sounds an awful lot like what they're describing right here, which is the creation of this place that we call her Earth. Sounds an awful lot like hell, guys. The good thing about hell is that despite what they tell you, you can get out. And the book of Enoch explains that later on as well. It says that our loved ones can help us get out, call our voice, call our names, and help us get out if we're not able to realize that we can get out on our own. When we say we are living in a hell on earth, we are. It's not just the ones that are around us that have created it. We've created it as well. So if you want to get out of here, out of your body, out of repeat, out of loop, out of anything and everything, you need to start working on you. You need to realize that there's a heaven out there. It's your heaven. It's my heaven. It's our heaven. There is a perfection. But I don't want you there if you're going to lie. You don't want me there if I'm going to lie. So we need to figure out for ourselves, not based on society and somebody else's opinions, what we consider a trait that we want to be part of us. What is a personality trait that we are going to be proud of, that we can actually stand in our own heaven and know that we want to take that with us? If you could picture your own heaven right now, your own castle, nobody else is in it, nobody else can see it, it's literally just you. Are you really the kind of person that would plaster your walls with pornography and children and I don't know, whatever thing you find whatever you find calls your name? I say pornography, I go to the worst. You can also have your baking and flowers and stuff, doesn't matter. Both extremes, right? Good and bad. Or do you want a balance of both? Are you content with certain things? Is it time to let go of certain things? You create your own hell. Others around you, unfortunately, here, because we decide we're here residing together, they can affect your reality just because we're sharing a current reality, but you are going to be in a place that is just yours, and you can control just you. Somebody's hurting your body, you can leave your body. You can go in your mind, you can go anywhere you want to. So just remember how much control you actually do have. You may not be able to remove yourself from certain situations. I too have been raped, I too have been killed, I too have been through what many have been through. And others have been through 10 times worse. But I don't recall most of the information, if not all of it, because I decided that I was in control of my mind and I left. So I don't live the repercussions of that action because I realize that I am in control of my mind, and my body will heal, wounds heal. So I don't have to live with that pain, with that agony, with that unbelievable fact over my head ever. And we all need to realize that the action is done, and the second the action is done, it is entirely up to you what you choose to do with it. Well, it was horrible, I went through this. Yeah, you went past tense, as in it's over. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. You did it. You're not just a survivor, as in, oh, you're a hero, you're a survivor, you're a martyr or a martyr. We're going to worship you. We're so proud of you. No, you should be proud of you. You shouldn't be, we shouldn't be having to pat you on the back. You should be proud of you. You did that, man. You did that. Do you know how far you've come? Do you know what you've accomplished? Do you know how amazing you are even today, even on the things that you decide that you choose not to work on right now? The things that you have worked on, the things that you have overcome, you're fucking amazing. If you can do that, you're alive today, guys. You're alive. How many of us don't want to be? 6 months ago, I downed a bottle of pills. A couple of years ago, I literally tried to just drive off a cliff. How many of us have either tried to or successfully taken our life? You're not the first, you won't be the last. The fact is, you don't have to. It's entirely your choice. It is no excuse as to what happened to you in your past. It's in your past. It's called the past for a reason. Why are you living there? Why are we all living there? Once the action is done, it is your choice what you do to react to that action. Are you going to live on that for the rest of your life and that's all you are? Is that all you are? Or are you going to choose who you are? I am not just my mom and dad. I'm not just the beltings I got with what I'm not just what I went through with my husband. I'm not just a wife, a mother, a daughter, a victim of this, that. I am everything and all that and then some. And that doesn't require a title. It's certainly not a superpower that's just mine. And I don't have to brag about it because we all have that ability. So realize you're awesome and start acting like it, guys. Start putting your own 2 feet on the ground and realize that the ground you're putting your feet on is the ground you choose to walk on, not your mommy and daddy's, not your previous boyfriends, not your current bully, not your boss, nothing. No, you choose to take every step you choose to take. You choose to go to work. You choose not to go to work. You choose to get married. You choose not to get married. You choose to get to do certain things. Sometimes, again, your body is taken, and unfortunately, you are put in situations where your body has no choice, but you always have a choice. You have the choice to live that situation where your body is no longer in your control and they're doing what they want to it, or you have the choice to leave and never, ever, ever, ever have to feel the repercussions of that. Your body will heal and you will move on with your life. Those are your choices. So regardless of what you've been through, those are an understanding, but they are certainly not an excuse. Stop living in the past. You live in the present, as in every time you blink your eye, something new has happened. It's a new moment. Move with it. Let go. Learn from it. Don't do it again. Don't put yourself in situations where that can happen again. Accept that you are not in control of your body and the physical here in this realm, but you are always in control of your mind and where you go with that. And it can be a beautiful place. It can be a beautiful place, even when your body or your reality is ugly. It can always be beautiful. You are always in control of your mind and what your mind chooses to see. So if you're in a place that's not working for you, that's okay. If you can't control the physical around you, say you're locked up, tied up, whatever the situation is like that, that's an out of control situation, then, leave. Go in your head and leave. You don't have to live there. You may be stuck there in the physical, but you don't have to live there. If you are capable of walking out of a situation or physically getting out of a situation, get the hell out of it. What are you doing? You have legs for a reason. Start making them walk. There are 15 billion people on this planet, and I can promise you that the people that are in your life right now that you've chosen to keep, that are making you feel miserable for whatever reason, are not the only ones on the earth. And if they choose to ever be decent people someday, you will cross paths with them again. If they choose to remain rotten people, they will someday be good, and just have patience. You will come across them, but right now you're just not meant to be in their life. If you happen to die or they happen to die, there is no such thing as death. You will move on, and again, as I said, you will cross paths. So stop panicking. Stop panicking. I can't live without them. You're not ever going to live without them. You're not living without anybody. It's not possible. It's not possible. So stop panicking. You're going to cross paths again. Do what's right for you, but realize that you are not in your own reality here. You are in everybody's reality. Reality here. So what's right for you in your head has to match what is right for you in reality here until you leave here and you go to your own home. Play by the rules, but understand that rules are meant to be broken and bent. And there's no need for control if you are agreeing to flow. I want to flow. You want to flow. If you decide to put down a barrier and I decide to put down a barrier, then there's barriers. We're not flowing anymore. Now we're bouncing off of barriers. Don't do that. Don't tweak me. I won't tweak you. We'll get along great. There we go. Back to where we were.
So you cannot tread on the earth or on a rock by reason of its heat. Chapter 5. Observe ye how the trees cover themselves with green leaves and bear fruit. Wherefore, give ye heed and know with regard to all his works, and recognize how he that liveth forever hath made them so. And all his works go on thus from year to year forever, and all the tasks which they accomplish for him, and their tasks change not, but according as God hath ordained, so is it done. And behold how the sea and the rivers in like manner accomplish and change not their tasks from his commandments. But ye have not been steadfast, nor done the commandments of the Lord, but ye have turned away and spoken proud and hard.
Yeah, like by his commandments. Realize that things happen for a reason, like hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes. They don't just randomly. Nothing happens randomly as per his commandments. Whatever is in charge of this stuff, like the earth moves at a certain pace for a certain reason, but do you realize that it's not even just enough? Like they always say, it's going to be a big disaster, the earth is going to be destroyed, and it may come close. It's come close so many times, but it never goes all the way. It never goes all the way. They want you to be just a little bit, always where you feel comfortable, but never quite comfortable enough where you can ever just really go to have a deep, deep sleep. That deep sleep where you just want to fully let your body go, fully let go. You're never comfortable here. Never. You have enough disaster where it's absolutely mind-blowing, but it doesn't wipe everything out. Everything's still going to carry on. There's still hope. You got enough of a life disaster where you've got diseases or your family's died or things are really bad, but there's somebody out there that could have it so much worse, and there's that little bit of hope. They always dangle that little bit of hope in front of you. It's not enough to get anything. Even the natural disasters are just enough to keep you constantly scared. We don't want to travel the world because we constantly hear about this going on here and that going on here and how that bad that is over there and how bad that is over there. We have multiple cultures here that talk about how there is things out there that are bad, but they come over here and they don't talk about it like it's the end of the world. And some of them go back and visit these places. They go back and visit these places. There is good, there is bad. What is real? Who the hell knows? And until you start asking those questions and going and seeing for yourselves, you are stuck on an endless repeat. Of course you are. You feel like you're in a loop. Well, what are you doing to change that? What questions are you asking? Aiden is one of the most stubborn people I've ever met in my life. He says it all the time. I'm a true stoddard. I'm stubborn, true and true. You're not going to get through to me. I'm telling you, when I get through to that kid, when he has a breakthrough, it is just, it's magical to see. It's magical to see. He's a believer in much. I like the fact that he hasn't fully read the Bible. It gives him the opportunity to be so wise and so open and take bits and pieces of what he believes in. Now he's starting to read it. He's only in the first couple chapters, as I said earlier, in the book of Genesis. And he's questioning things. This stubborn stoddard who believes everything he's told. Well, you've been told the same stuff since you were a little kid, Aiden, the same thing that I was told, the same thing my dad was told, and so on and so forth. And for the first time in his life, he's like, Mom, this doesn't make sense. Mom, how come this isn't adding up? Mom, can we talk? Mom, I have questions. It is so beautiful to see that my 3 kids are just as bloody stubborn as their mom. I remember my mom used to say all the time, why can't you be like the other kids? Why can't you just accept that this is the English language and this is how the letters work and this is why there's multiple letters or multiple meanings behind the words and multiple spelling for the same damn word, and it just is because. How many times do you hear the words just because? And we have completely accepted that for so many years. It just is. And we wonder why we're so frustrated and we're so lost and we don't have any answers. I'm so tired of asking adults and elders and teachers and preachers. I'm so tired of asking those who have the answers questions and being told just because. My mother was one of them. I love her to death, but she decided to take the role of a homeschooler, which means you're a teacher. You are supposed to have answers, and if you don't have answers, the answer isn't ever just because. The answer is, I don't know. Let's find out together. Or, I don't know. Did you want to research it? Or something, something to say, hey, I really don't have the answer to that. And the next step should be, if you're interested in finding this answer or contributing to the finding of this answer, elaborate on that, tell the person that, let's find it together, or you find it together, or I'll go find it for you, or whatever the case is. But be honest. Be honest. I used to cry and I used to just say to my mom all the time, it doesn't make sense, Mom. Like, the English language doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense that there's so many meanings behind the same word. Like, what a confusing... Why are we so confused? Because there's no stability. There's absolutely no stability in anything in this creation. They call it Earth, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. A name is a name. What's in a name? A name by any other... a rose by other name is just as sweet, right? What is in a name? Well, much, and yet nothing. We walk around and we say words like there, T-H-E-I-R, T-H-E-R-E, T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E, like, are you kidding me? Like, that's... And we're supposed to understand simple basics like what the hell the clouds are and where our soul goes and what the human body is made of. Well, you cannot possibly understand that when every single response you get comes with individual words, and every individual word has endless possibilities. We are all different. We all think differently. We all behave differently. We are all individual. We are all as unique as the individual fingerprints on our hands. That's right. Out of everything I've heard so far today, as of 40 years of just whatever, the fingerprint seems to be the only thing in the human body that is different than every other human body out there. And I'm not talking looks and eyes and stuff like that. I'm talking DNA and skin and what makes us, right? Our fingerprints are 1,000% different. They are completely and utterly ours, just like every snowflake is different. Why? Everything else is the same. Everything else just doesn't change and doesn't do anything, and yet then all of a sudden something is unique and nobody's asking questions about that. We're okay following the same patterns. I don't like change. That's another thing that drives me nuts. I've said it many times. I don't like change. What a ridiculous concept. Oh my gosh. We don't even think about what we're saying. as I'm sitting here talking to you, my body is growing older or shorter or taller, or my heart's going faster or slower, or something has changed. I've scratched my arm and I've shed a little bit of skin. The earth has turned just a quarter of a centimeter. Something has changed. Everything has changed. And yet we sit here as a human race saying we don't like change. Well, guys, I hate to break it to you, but there is nothing but change in this world. The problem is that everything in this world isn't changing. The trees, they grow, they fall. The rain, it falls, it goes up, it comes down, it's a circle. Our dogs get old, they die, they go into the ground, something else is reborn. It just keeps going, it just doesn't stop. The only thing changing is you, if you decide to. Your body doesn't change. I'm talking about you, as in I was a full-blown believer in Jesus Christ and the Bible for, I'm going to say, 39 years of my life. And this last year, I am a I am a believer in everything and nothing. I don't know what kind of sense that makes. I suppose it's not meant to make sense. If it made sense, then I would be stuck on a path and I'd be lost and I wouldn't have a clue where I was going again on repeat. So that's why I dabble a little bit into everything. I don't have a clue what to believe anymore, so I don't believe anything, and yet I believe in magic. Like, not talking about your magicians and fake, and I'm not talking when I talk fly, you fly like a bird, where they have to use energy and use the wind and use everything to get up, and then gravity pulls them back down because they're tired, or gravity pulls them down, they come down on their own. I know that I can fly, as in I'll go up whenever I want, come down whenever I want, do whatever I want, any angle, anyway. I know that we can do things like that. I know that we can break barriers. I believe in imagination. I believe in the absolute impossibly possible. There is no way to even definitively argue that. Prove gravity to me. It is not visible. What goes up must come down. Why? What's actually bringing it down? We've labeled it gravity, but we can't actually prove what gravity is, other than there is an effect where something that goes up seems to just come down. Is it being pulled down? Does it have to come down? Are we forced down? Is it magnetic force? Is it just natural? Is it us thinking that we're not safe being up, and so our mind has created a barrier where we fear up, so we always come down? What is down? What is down? What is up? What is down? Who's questioning these things? I'm watching the sun lately. I don't know if you guys have watched the pictures of the sun I've posted on Facebook. If you haven't, quickly take a reference. You're going to find it in my folder called Just Me, and there's things in that wow, it's not a ball of fire, guys. First of all, balls of fires you can look at. I don't know anything that I can come up with, even research, where I have found a gas that burns so brightly that you cannot look at it, that it literally burns your eyes. I've taken pictures of the sun the last few days, as I've said, that has things that are coming out of it that I cannot explain. It seems like it's got a rim of orange around the outside of it. Gas, if it was burning, would not have a distinct circular ring of orange. It would be flowing in and out. If you look at a fire, you can see how it moves in the different patterns. It definitely wouldn't be an exact circle. A gas doesn't reflect the fact that it comes down on they say the moon, for example. How does it very carefully light up the moon at night, and yet even the clouds that go through the sky are not affected by the same light that should be lighting them up just gently, and it's also not affecting the sky itself. That makes absolutely no sense. How come the sun looks like it's reflecting like a broken chip off of the windshield of a car instead of a ball of gas? That makes absolutely no logical sense to me. Gas does not emit radiation in the sense that it burns us like we are under a microscope, or a what the hell is that thing called? You burn your ants with it, Aiden. You hold it in your microscope is the word.
No, it's not microscope. Magnifying glass.
Magnifying glass.
Not
it's like we're
magnifying
glass. It's like we're under a magnifying glass. That makes absolutely no sense. Gas does not get that effect. So there's just things that, and it's weird to even have these kind of discussions. I mean, if you knew me a year ago, my God, I was on 8 different antidepressants and life is absolutely hell. And just all of a sudden one day I woke up and realized that in order to do things my way, I had to figure out what that meant. I had to walk away from everything and everybody. I've put a pause button on my family. My best friend, I told I needed some time to myself. Hang on, I've got Aiden here. Just one pause. I am live. Just so
yeah, sorry to interrupt. I'm going to bed soon, so I just wanted to make these quick. First of all, I changed my backgrounds.
Oh, lovely.
I feel like the second one a lot more.
Okay.
Wrong button.
Ooh. That's the Milky Way. We were looking at that last night. That's absolutely beautiful. Did I tell you? I didn't tell you because you weren't here. We found a 13th constellation of the zodiac sign. So look at this. Everything runs on 13, right?
If I'm being 100% honest, I personally don't believe in the zodiac
Oh,
signs.
I don't believe in the zodiac signs either. I just think it's really funny that we've come across 13 seems to be adding up. So there's Jesus and the 12 disciples. So there's 12 apostles. There's not
Yeah.
there's 13 of them, right? There's Jesus and the apostles. There's 13 of them. There's one judge and 12 jurors. Everything seems to run on 13. So there was 12 of the zodiac signs I noticed the other day, and I thought, well, that's kind of odd. It's not balancing. Everything in the world is balanced. They have a new one that they've just come up with. So I think it's odd that there's 13 of them and it doesn't connect with the other ones. But look at this one. This is the reason I brought this up. We were just looking at it with Aunt Penny last night. There's no meaning in this that means anything to me. But the Scorpio is actually not a tail. It's an arrow. It goes right into what looks like a bow, which is the Libra, which would shoot right into the Virgo. And if you look at these stars, they line up exactly. So I don't know what that means. Everything has something and doesn't have something, but Virgo, they just line up. I don't know. I found it funny that they've got another one in there. How was work?
Good.
Cool. We are reading the book of Enoch.
Alright, I'm doing the smart thing and immediately purchasing said PC.
Oh, yes. Good. I am going shopping when Louisa comes home. Are you coming with us?
I'm going to bed, and besides, I forgot my wallet at work.
Oh.
Which...
Is it safely at work?
Yeah, Stephanie's forgotten hers at work, and then they usually just take it and put it in a hiding place until she can come pick it up.
Where did you leave it at work?
Oh, mine is right in front of like the gas screen, but they know what my wallet looks like because
Is
I
somebody
usually
going to see it?
yeah the boss and
I was going to say, you should call in.
I trust them.
Okay.
Stephanie's forgotten there a couple times, and Wafa or whatever, whoever finds it, usually just puts it in a little hiding spot and lets you know where they put it.
Look at this.
I'll be into work tomorrow anyways.
That is so nice. It's the Lord of the Rings collectible.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
Receive the checkout.
I'm looking for an air conditioner for your sister.
Nice.
Yeah, the two that they had available are gone. Of course, $25 in Brockville. Damn it. We need a car. Go get a car. Yep, right now. Go win the lottery. I wish. No, I don't. We don't have money. We don't need money. That's something that the world has told you that you need. Everything that you need is free. We are paying. The money is for the things that we consider luxury. We enjoy our prepackaged food. We enjoy our pre-made clothing. We enjoy what is done for us. We know it's not necessary. My God, guys. We're from the 80s. We grew gardens. I know how to make my own clothes. I learned that in school. Yep, that's right. For those of you like M who are in school today, we had a thing called home ec. I learned how to make my own clothes. I know how to set a table that if the Queen of England walked through the door, I could set a table for her. Those are the things that we learned. We learned how to survive when we got out of high school. My heart breaks for you kids. I remember my kids getting out of high school. They're like, well, what now? We don't actually have any kind of an education. If you go to college, you're going to pay for it until the day that you die. You don't know what you really want to get into. Like, I had to teach my kids how to do taxes. How come that's not something they teach you in school? They teach you how to vote. That's super important. They teach you how to vote for all the people that, we're not going to get into that. That's judgment. But they don't teach you how to pay taxes so that you don't get your money and the government can screw you. Yes, they
I have purchased my gaming PC.
Ah, awesome. Which one did you get?
I got the one Phil recommended, but luckily
Good.
when I pressed on it, it gave me different places to buy from, which gave me different prices. So I went with the cheapest one from DBCS Computer.
Yeah.
And instead of paying almost $1,000 for it, I only paid $767.55.
How do you feel?
Well, I'm excited for it to come in, but I have to wait till next paycheck to buy everything else to actually use it, such as the monitor, the mouse and keyboard, the microphone, the desk, the chair.
So this is exciting, guys, because Aiden has decided to be a YouTube gamer. YouTuber, and he purchased his very first PC today so that he can start his hopefully his career in what do you do?
Gaming. So
Elaborate.
gamer. I play video games. It's not all I want to do.
It's like the marker dude, the funny guy that you watch.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I want to be like a gamer primarily, but when I get bigger and have more money to do other things, I want to go explore haunted locations, maybe do some airsoft, explore the world, whatever, vlog it.
So you guys heard it here first. This is the next future gamer YouTuber. Yeah, you met him here first. Don't forget him. He won't forget you. He's going to be famous someday, guys. Don't forget him. He will never forget you. Oh, there we go. There we go. I wanted to get my gem.
Oh, I feel so bad for Stephanie. I forgot that last week she had to deal with some bullshit.
No. Oh,
So-
that's right.
So, no. So, like, last week, the milk driver came in, right? Now,
Okay.
customers have a very specific place where they're supposed to park, on either ends of the building. All the big zone that the customers aren't allowed to park their vehicles in for
Stop.
is where our delivery drivers are allowed to park their vehicles when they're bringing in milk, because they're coming in big trucks. This moron decides to back up into the parking space meant for the customers and hit somebody's car.
Oh, no.
And then proceeded to get out, attacked them, yelled at them. Stephanie, who's inside, who just washed it, who also has an entire lineup from one end of the store to the other of customers, and her gas station is filled, has to go out to address the situation. And then the milk guy, instead of bringing all the milk from the truck inside into our cooler like he's supposed to, just drops off the truck in front of the building and drives off.
Oh
So
my
not
God.
only does Stephanie have to deal with all the customers, but she also has to get all the milk out from outside from out the boiling hot sun into the refrigerator while trying to deal with all the customers.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
Huh. That's lovely.
Yerp.
Are they... Are they hiring?
No.
Your sister's looking for work.
We have no more hours.
Okay. I know you said something was out there that you weren't sure. Just throwing it out there. If you hear something, keep it out there. She's just looking for something.
I know for a fact now that we're not hiring because we're houred up. But I'm gonna go sleep because past me decided it was a good idea to not go to bed last night, and future me had regretted it. I got to work and I was already tired. I was like, well, I know what to do. Bought 2-piece teas, bought the 5-hour energy thing. I had energy for 5 hours. When I died down, I bought another one, but it was a healthier one. The one that had
Those actually work? How does
Hell
it make
yeah.
you feel?
Well, I went from tired to going 100 miles a minute and singing random ass songs that I heard like almost 2 weeks ago in my head.
What?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
How fascinating. I wonder what the contents of said device is.
Now-
More than coffee?
So the one that I had is pretty much just straight caffeine, like a high concentrated caffeine.
Oh, so it's just caffeine.
Yeah, but I had a second one, which is new. It's a lot healthier. It still has caffeine because obviously, well, caffeine produces energy. I mean, there's other ways to produce like energy, but like most of them are on a way unhealthier compared to like using caffeine because like they require chemicals, whereas caffeine is natural and comes from coffee beans. But the second one that I took, I've had it before. It also has a whole bunch of like vitamins in it. Like I had vitamins B1 and B6,
Okay.
along with like 2 other vitamins. And I would imagine this was obviously a joke, but they kind of went with like the whole slogan of like Red Bull was like Red Bull gives you wings, because in the list of ingredients is like and a jetpack. I'm like, a jetpack? What?
I love how it gives you 15,000 things to run from coffee away from, to run from it. And then right underneath it says, what doctors wish patients knew about the impact of caffeine. In low doses, caffeine may help depression, this, that, and the other thing. So remember, everything good comes with something bad. It's all about the balance. There's
It's all about
nothing wrong.
proportions.
It is. It really is. I just watched this. I sent myself this clip. It was so unbelievable. I just watched this woman from the Amazon. She's not 87, 88. I don't know. 88 years old. Do you know what she's living on?
What?
Jell-O. Her doctor told her to have a teaspoon of Jell-O every day because it will help her gelatin in her body, is what she said. It'll loosen the gelatin in her body. And she said, I'm 88 years old and she's moving like a 7-year-old. Her body is unbelievable. They asked her what she was doing today. She's building like, I can't even tell you what she's doing. Things that we couldn't do. 88, she's living on Jell-O.
Yeah.
the things out there that are just there. Unbelievable.
I mean, there was
I'm
a
not
woman-
telling you to go live on Jello again. Balance, right?
I mean, there was a woman that lived to like 100 years old, and she had 2 cans of Dr. Pepper a day.
There's a lady in India who doesn't eat. She hasn't eaten a thing. I'm pretty sure they said in 10 years hasn't passed her lips. Not a thing. She cooks for her family. Not a thing has passed her lips. Not a liquid, not a food, not an insect, nothing. She eats nothing in 10 years. They went down and researched her. They proved there's nothing in her body. They checked her intestines. They checked every inch of her blood, everything in her body. There was nothing stored, nothing hidden. There was no indication of food, nutrients, anything in her body at all.
I don't know how much I believe.
Right?
That, but-
Believe, right? It's
Yeah.
all like what you believe, what you don't believe. But just, that's the phenomenal things. That's why I say balance in everything. Don't
Yeah.
believe everything, but don't not believe everything. So question everything and balance everything. If you decide to do this Jello thing, I don't know how far I'd suggest taking it.
Well,
but
what I like about like nowadays is that again, a lot of these like for my generation building their own companies are coming out with healthier alternatives to stuff. Like for example, instead of having all this unhealthy energy drinks such as Monster that are pumped full with chemicals, sugar, and caffeine, there are now healthier alternatives where you can still get the same energy that you would normally get from a Monster, but in a healthier way. Like for example, instead of having the 5 energy thing that has unhealthy everything in it, you can have what I had today, where it has very few ingredients, right? All of which you can pronounce and you know what they are, and it had vitamins in it and actual proper caffeine. And you could tell that it wasn't like your typical like energy drink, because when you drink energy drinks, they have a very like sourish flavor to it, right? Like it doesn't matter what type of like flavor they are, they always have a very like strong sour type taste to it, right?
Yeah.
The one that I had didn't have that. It was it tasted very peachy and natural, right? And so
this is insane. Although Jello isn't a well-rounded, nutritious food, its main ingredient, gelatin, does have several health benefits. Gelatin contains proteins and amino acids, including collagen, which can reduce joint pain and improve the strength and flexibility of your body's tissues and tendons.
Yeah.
She's 88. She said, I wear no glasses. I have perfect hearing. I have not lost any of my teeth. They're all in perfect health. Her body is in perfect health, and she eats a teaspoon of Jello a day. These things are just, what? I don't understand. I don't believe anything. I believe everything. I question everything. This is insane, and it's so fucking exciting. Yes.
I think I just might have enough money to go buy the next one.
Ooh.
I'm going to go buy the desk first, because that's going to be important. If it's
Measure your room.
well, okay. So if it's okay, I don't know 100%. I was originally kind of planning, because of what's happened recently, to move into Dante's room as my bedroom and to turn my bedroom into the office.
We have to talk about that another time.
Okay.
Nothing happens because we know that it's not permanent. We know things. We'll
Well,
talk another time.
yeah.
But if things don't work, how often do you think you'll spend on that thing? Because if you'd like, we can discuss maybe putting it in the living room, giving you a corner of the living room.
Well, the reason I don't want to move it down here is because when it comes to sound quality, right, the
You don't
smaller
wanna be
space that I
disturbed.
have, the less echo.
Yeah,
Right.
you don't want to be disturbed. No,
That's why I wanted to turn my room, a small room, into the office, because there's less of a wide area, less echo. Plus, I have sound pads that I can put up on the wall.
I see what you're saying.
Again, what I was thinking was like moving to Dante's room, and like if Dante decides to come back, I can easily move back into my room and kind of like figure out an arrangement or whatever.
That wouldn't work. No, we'll talk about it. Let me put some thought into it. We'll worry about it more when the desk starts to come.
Yeah.
But we'll figure things out in time. He's not gone for long. But Jello. Look at that, guys. Am I telling you to go out and eat Jello? Yeah, I suppose I am. I'm going to try things. Why am I watching all these people and being like, I don't know what I believe, I don't know what I don't believe. Maybe I need to be my own guinea pig. If I'm a guinea pig here on this earth for everybody else, maybe I need to be my own guinea pig. What do I want to change about my body, or what do I want to discover? Currently, I have let's see, what do I have to work on? My allergy to metals is something I would definitely like to get rid of. I'll have to think about that. I guess I'm going to have to start trying things. I'll document them and let you guys know how it goes. Well, you're gonna know anyway.
I'm going to try to find the one that I wanted from last time. It was perfect because I could make it smaller. And it had a lot of storage on it, like a lot of shelving units I can put
Ella,
stuff on it.
stop eating your toes, babe. You gotta stop, sweet pea. Oh, I got a new candle. It's lemongrass and white orchid, I believe. Oh,
Okay.
no, white. Oh my god. It's on the table. You'll have to read it. Raw silk. Ooh.
How is this friggin' desk?
This is so neat.
This is so neat!
What is Himalayan? Oh, Himalayan scares me. Now that we're not sure about Himalayan salt, I am like, do I want to go anywhere near that? But then if you really think about it, Aiden, think about this. This is going to disturb you. Are you guys ready for this disturbing picture?
No,
Okay, so if you think about a graveyard, I want you to think about graves that have been there for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. We don't know how long we've been here. We don't know if we ourselves, the house you're living in right now, is on a graveyard or not. We do not know if the the farms and the fruit and trees and whatnot, the orchards, there's the word, are on a graveyard. That means that every single thing that we eat, every animal, every fruit, every vegetable, every insect, everything that we put in our mouth is recycled human. Has recycled human in it. We have been buried in the ground for generations upon generations upon generations. We've been eaten by insects. We are dissolved into the earth. We are fertilizer, and then we grow trees. We grow plants. The life, the ground that we are laying in, the grass that you are laying in, has human essence. That's why everything is alive. That's why everything feels alive and can connect to you, because it does. How do you feel about that?
Food's food, man.
Food's food. That is the typical human response.
Listen.
No. I don't know how I want to feel about that. I don't want to judge. Why do I feel the need to? If I just announce something that's natural, it's the natural of life. Where would you put the human bodies if they don't go back into the earth? They would pile up. There is no other option but to put them back into the earth. Is that acceptable? And that's just the way life is, and we have to accept that we really actually have been eating each other for generations and generations and generations, and we're supposed to eat food, or we're not supposed to eat food. This is good, this is bad. In the death of a loved one, by them disintegrating into the earth, they have then given us life. And there is the circle of life. Why is that bad? Why is that disgusting? Why would one's stomach turn at the thought of that? It's murder, obviously, if you're killing somebody and you're doing that. But if somebody naturally dies and they are put into the earth and they come back as a tree to give us shade, is that not love? Continuum loved? Ooh, I love that.
I think that's the one I'm going with.
That's everlasting love. For your body to die and go into the ground and give life for the next generations, if we don't continue, if our bodies, if things don't continue to die, there is no life. If there's no physical death, there is no physical life. Let me stress that. There is life outside of the physical form.
Yeah, dude.
Super juice mix. Ooh, magnesium bath flakes? Raw Dead Sea? Wait. Magnesium. Was that on my list? Magnesium. Biochemical reactions in the body, including protein synthesis, muscle and nerve function, blood glucose control, and blood pressure regulation. Magnesium is required for energy production, oxidative phosphorylation, and glycosis. That's a mouthful.
Bless you.
Aw, thank you.
Not you.
That was rude. What if I wanted to be blessed too?
And I purchased another 2 items. The gaming desk and the gaming monitor. So if I'm lucky, and when the gaming PC shows up, it hopefully shows up with its own mouse pad and, well, keypad and mouse until I can buy my own.
Oh, I'm so excited for you.
The desk is supposed to show up on the 11th of July, so Thursday of next week, and then my monitor is supposed to show up this Thursday.
That's amazing.
And I have no idea when the PC is supposed to show up.
How's it coming? Where is it coming from? You don't have tracking for your PC?
Well, I bought it off of DBCS Computer, Professional PC Services and Repairs. It just kind of tells me my order number, the date that I bought it, how much I spent, method of payment, product, subtotal, ABG, ST, payment method, total, and that's all.
It should have a tracking information. It's a bit of a panic if you don't have that tracking information.
It is.
Ooh, pine pollen powder? Pine pollen. I was brought to that for a reason. We were looking into that the other day. The Simpsons said something that was kind of funny. There was a moment when Bart and Lisa were in the treehouse, and Lisa wanted to get down, didn't know how to get down, so Bart knocked on the treehouse, and the tree comes to life and says, "Look at that. One pine tree opens its mouth, and look at us now." I also found that funny that it brought out the pine, because I realized the other day, when you look up the definition of evergreen...
Well, I'm assuming this should show up in a reasonable amount of time. If it doesn't show up within, like, maybe 4 or 5 days, I'll give the place a call, be like, is this on its way or whatever? Kind of go from there.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm listening. Sorry, my mind was...
good.
I'm multitasking.
Alright, now let's see the grand total of what I'm left with.
So I had looked up the other day, and I can't find it right now, the exact definition, how I found it, of the evergreen trees. And I found it funny that it was described as tree-like. They were like trees, and that they were considered an ornamental an architectural ornament.
I am now confuddled.
What?
Well, I just placed my order from Amazon for the desk and the monitor.
Okay.
And it says it's purchased and on its way, but when I go over to my banking account, there's been no money taken from my account and gone to Amazon.
You're ordering through Amazon? I thought you said you were having troubles with Amazon. You were driving me nuts.
No, that was my old account that I can't get back into. Because I created with an old email that I don't have.
Do you have an email confirming the order that you just placed?
No, I do not.
Go back into your order.
This is order placed things. Confirmation will be sent to message center. And it tells me when the item should show up.
Here. Huh. Kind of funny, evergreen, always seeming fresh or remaining popular. Seeming, note that word. There was a very distinct description in here I wanted.
I don't know. Maybe it'll take out like the money in just like a few moments or whatever. Actually, let me go check my payment method.
So, I find this funny. In regards to law, the word evergreen is used to describe a legal agreement that will automatically renew or start again unless one of the people or businesses involved officially ends it. The evergreen trees only drop their foliage, which are not leaves. They are like leaves. They are fake. Every 2 to 3 years. In the wintertime, believe it or not, when all the trees have lost their leaves, our little 14 evergreen trees that are supposedly giving us oxygen, they don't actually produce any oxygen in the wintertime.
Alright, so it's in the process of still being ordered. I mean, you're not going to find anything that I'm not finding.
No questions asked.
Well, I just won't touch any money until the payment's gone through.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like I can anyways. My debit card's at work. That's 3 items. Hopefully, the bonus of a mouse and keyboard.
Hey, I'm allergic to beets. I wonder if that's something that I can overcome. I do like beets. Okay, Aiden's gone. We'll go back to listening to the Book of Enoch. See? I haven't gotten very far. I've attempted to finish this book 100,000 times. We're only 5 minutes in, and every time I listen to it, I stop and I have a lot to say about it. It's a really good book.
Words with your impure mouths against his greatness. Oh, ye hard-hearted, ye shall find no peace. Therefore shall he execrate your days, and the years of your life shall perish, and the years of your destruction shall be multiplied in eternal execration.
Again, let me know if you can't
He
hear
shall
it.
find no mercy. In those days shall make your names an eternal.
Aiden?
I would like to know where her hair extensions are coming in.
I'll look it up.
She said she'll look it up. You know, the main reason why I changed my phone screen last night was because I could not see the time with the type that I had at the moment. The old one that I had were like beautiful, like purple black dice, whatever in the background was like a bit purple black, right, with a black outlining. But where the black was exactly where the time was, which was also black. So I couldn't see the time, and I would have to actually unlock my phone to check what time it was. So I decided I'm just going to change the background of the phone. It's like I've had this one for a bit. It's time to change anyways. And I specifically made sure that I chose something that was bright and not black so I could see the time.
You can let her know. It will be here between the 7th and the 12th. So next week.
What? What?
Was that her or the TV? Yay! Oh, Lord. Okay, let's rewind a little bit so we don't miss anything.
Execrate your days, and the years of your life shall perish, and the years of your destruction shall be multiplied in eternal execration, and ye shall find no mercy. In those days ye shall make your names an eternal execration unto all the righteous, and by you shall all who curse, curse, and all the sinners and godless shall imprecate by you. And for you, the godless, there shall be a curse. And all the elect shall rejoice, and there shall be forgiveness of sins, and every mercy, and peace, and forbearance. There shall be salvation unto them of goodly light. And for all you sinners there shall be no salvation, and on you all shall abide a curse. But for the elect there shall be light and joy and peace, and they shall inherit the earth. And then there shall be bestowed upon the elect wisdom, and they shall all live and never again sin, either through ungodliness or through pride. But they who are wise
Never again.
shall be humble, and they shall not again transgress, nor shall they sin all the days of their life, nor shall they die,
of the divine anger or wrath, but they shall complete the number of the days of their life. And their lives shall be increased in peace, and the years of their joy shall be multiplied in eternal gladness and peace all the days of their life. The fall of the angels, the demoralization of mankind, the intercession of the angels on behalf of mankind, the dooms pronounced by God on the angels, the Messianic kingdom. Chapter 6. And it came to pass, when the children of men had multiplied, that in those days were born unto them beautiful and comely daughters. And the angels, the children of the heaven, saw and lusted after them, and said to one another, Come, let us choose us wives from among the children of men, and beget us children. And Semjaza, who was their leader, said unto them, I fear ye will not indeed agree to do this deed, and I alone shall have to pay the penalty of a great sin. And they all answered him and said, Let us all swear an oath, and all bind ourselves by mutual imprecations, not to abandon this plan, but to do this thing. Then swear they all together, and bound themselves by mutual imprecations upon it. And there were in all 200 who descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Hermon. And they called it Mount Hermon because they'd sworn and bound themselves by mutual imprecations upon it. And these are the names of their leaders: Semiazaz, their leader; Arikabah, Ramiel, Kokabiel, Tamiel, Ramiel, Daniel, Ezekiel, Barakijah, Asael, Amaros, Batarel, Ananel, Zachiel, Samsapiel, Satarel, Turel, Jonjael, Sariel. These are their chiefs of tens. Chapter 7. And all the others together with them took unto themselves wives. Each chose for himself one. And they began to go in unto them and defiled themselves with them. And they taught them charms and enchantments, the cutting of roots, and made them acquainted with plants. And they became pregnant, and they bare great giants, whose height was 3,000 ells, who consumed the acquisitions of men. And when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind. And they began to sin against birds and beasts and reptiles and fish, and to devour one another's flesh and drink the blood. Then the earth laid accusation against the lawless ones. Chapter 8. And Azazel taught men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth and the art of working them, and bracelets and ornaments, and the use of antimony, and the beautifying of the eyelids, and all kinds of costly stones, and all coloring tinctures. And there arose much godlessness, and they committed fornication, and they were led astray, and became corrupt in all their ways. Semjaza taught enchantments and wood cuttings; Amaros, the resolving of enchantments; Barakijah taught astrology; Kokabel, the constellations; Ezekiel, the knowledge of the clouds; Arachiel, the signs of the earth; Shamsiel, the signs of the sun; and Sariel, the course of the moon. And as men perished, they cried, and their cry went up to heaven. Chapter 9. And then Michael.
So I'm going to pause for a minute because I'm reading something completely separate as I'm attempting to listen to the Book of Enoch for the 10,000,000th time. And it's just obviously caught my attention enough to pause and share.
I forgot that before I go to bed, there was a video that I want to show you that is really badass.
Testing which tank can cross the bridge and reach the finish line that is guarded by 2 battleships. Tank tested the mighty L3. For this task, we need a perfect tank with good speed and armor. The L3, with only 43 horsepower while weighing over 3 tons, may not sound promising, but we should not underestimate this little mighty tank. because the smaller you are, the harder it will be to hit you. The battleship started firing at the L3. Just as I said, due to the smaller size of the L3, almost every single round missed it. But all it takes is just one single round, and that could be the end for the L3. So let's just hope we do not get hit before the finish line.
Somebody's yelling, is this a...
Oh, this is a video game. This isn't real life.
Okay.
It came so far. The L3 got
It was a
just
cool edit, though.
Oh, it was crazy.
But you know what I realized when I was at work today?
Yes.
Alright, so I was thinking about, obviously, my occupation in the military as, infantry, right? And I was thinking about, because you have light infantry and you have mechanized infantry. Now, I'm light infantry. I had considered joining mechanized infantry. But then I thought about the pros and the cons, saying, well, I've now come to the conclusion that being light infantry is so much better than mechanized infantry. Although that we don't get to drive around in vehicles with bigger guns, we have an advantage, and it is we're not a big effing target. See, you've heard the term of humans are the perfect killing machine.
Yes.
War is a perfect testimony to that fact. And I'm not talking about in the way of the fact that we've created tanks and missiles and aircraft. I mean in the fact that an infantry section of soldiers, just random dudes running around on the ground, can take on these armored vehicles and win. For example, if you take a tank, a normal size modern tank, which can weigh anywhere between I think it's 10 to 18 tons, or 10,000 to 18,000 tons in weight, which is very heavy, right? Which is with very thick armor, a massive cannon, and at least 2 to 3 mounted machine guns on it. And then you take a section of infantry soldiers, specifically ones that are trained and sent out to tank hunt. Guess who would win in that fight?
Who?
The infantry soldiers. Despite the fact that we're just random dudes, well, not random dudes, just dudes running around on the ground with no armor, fighting a 18,000 ton tank with very thick armor. There's a massive advantage. First of all, the tank is a bigger target, and although it can move forward fast, when it comes to the actual rotation of the main gun, it's slow, and it has a lot of blind spots. Basically, anywhere from the behind this, basically anywhere where the turret isn't looking is a blind spot. Whereas infantry soldiers were small and fast and nimble, and we can use pretty much anything to hide behind or in without getting spotted by the tank. On top of that, we have tools, right, that we can carry on us that don't weigh as much to take out the tank. Anti-tank rifles, anti-tank mines, anti-tank rockets. Hell, even if we have to go down, if it really comes down to it, we can just run up on top of the tank, open the tank hatch, throw in a hand grenade, close the hatch, boom, tank is now dead.
Well, think of it, everything's small, right? Like an ant can lift 10 times its body weight. That is such a small creature, but if you take something like an elephant can lift big, but it can only lift 1 or 2 items, and it's right out in the open, so it's not going to get far with that item. An ant can go far, and it can have itself, and if it goes down, there's billions that are on the side. Yes, darling. No, that's my last bag. You're not getting it. I had 2 when I left. No.
Because...
No.
But you can get another box today.
Do as you will.
Because, these, for example, a tank can't deal with everything, right? Like, a tank can't deal with enemy aircraft or anti-tank weaponry or whatever. Same with aircraft. Aircraft can't deal with anti-aircraft systems. They can deal with a lot, like infantry soldiers, armored vehicles, even naval boats, whatever. Infantry soldiers can deal with literally anything. You pick 8 soldiers that you trust in enough in terms of their training, give them enough explosives, and give them a target, and they'll destroy whatever the hell you've sent them to destroy.
One can do much damage. I have something for you. You may be interested in this. I'm looking into meat. So in Romans... Oh, okay, no, we're going to start at the beginning. In Genesis, because obviously you should always start at the beginning. Genesis chapter 1:28. I'm sorry, Genesis 2:28. No, 29. And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. He's referencing the trees and the leaves and the fruit as meat. Again, that goes back to my statement where all of us are back in the earth. We come back in nature. We're eating each other. But then listen to this. This is where it gets contradictory. Again, I love the Bible. In Romans 14:21, it says, It is good not to eat meat or drink wine or do anything that causes your brother to stumble. It again references you shouldn't eat meat. But that means you can't eat anything, because if we come back as, well, the insects eat the meat and stuff, yeah, it keeps, yeah.
If you read a bit further into Genesis, at a certain point, sometime after the flood, God tells one of his disciples, I don't remember which one, that they end up doing something that makes him very, very happy, and he just tells them that, like, all these animals you are able to consume. And then lists off a couple that, like, you're obviously not supposed to not eat. Like, for example, as we know them, horses, dirty animals. But God said, "Look at you're no longer allowed to just eat plants, but now I give you permission to eat the animals."
Yes, no, permission was given here at the beginning as well. He said very clearly, "I give you all this, that, the other thing, in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you, it shall be for meat." As in, we're gonna eat it. To you, it will be for meat. He gave it to us as something to enjoy, and then followed it by saying that we are going to eat it. But he didn't tell us to eat it.
So, in the Bible, as I've learned, for example, not all words like mean what exactly you mean. Like, for example, right, when in the Bible, specifically the version that I'm reading, right, they don't, when they're talking about like a man and a woman having sex, they don't say, "Oh, they had sex" or whatever. This is how they say it. She has gone to know him.
I'm very well aware of how to interpret this.
So some words don't mean exactly what you think they mean.
I think that's very clear. To you, it shall be for meat.
Yeah, but
as in you're allowed to eat it. You're not allowed necessarily referencing meat. Like in the beginning, it mentioned animals and how the animals would be for meat. We're going to eat it as meat. It's also telling us here that another kind of meat is all the vegetation.
I don't think that in that phrase, like, they're using meat not as in like a meat, but as like a meat as in this is something you can eat, right? Like
meat.
Or plants, right? Like, oh, this is something you are allowed to eat.
If that was the case, they would have been very specific. They very specifically referenced fruit and herbs and greenery as meat, because the truth is in the pudding. I mean, we are buried. When we are buried or even thrown to the wind as ashes, whatever form, doesn't matter. When our physical dies, no matter how it is burnt or buried, doesn't matter. When our physical dies, it goes back into the world. And the reality of that is that we are consuming ourselves, each other.
He could have also not meant that in that kind of sense. Like, for example, like...
But that's not... He's not saying, like, you're cursed and I'm cursing you to do that. That's just the reality of it.
No, what I mean is, like, he's meaning as in, like, plants are a living, breathing organism, right? And
absolutely.
For example, like, for an apple, let's say, like, their skin is their type... is the apple's meat. Right, like its skin, its meat. Right, like for example, my skin is my meat, or a reptile's scales. It is meat. Right, and apple's skin is its meat. Is what it probably means. But anyways, I'm tired and desire to go to bed.
Yes, listen, I have given, and to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to every thing that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. Even the animals were told that the green herbs that they were to eat is called meat. That means, oh my goodness, what does that mean? That means that reference is right there.
I just clued into what it's actually saying. It's saying that all creatures, man or animal, meat, can eat these plants.
It's neat, Aiden, because again we disintegrate into the
don't-
earth and we become fertilizer and we come back as
I don't think that at all what it's referring.
our physical is recycled, Aiden.
The reason I'm saying that I don't think it is because back then it was a very, very small
Back
population.
then, nothing. When your physical body dies...
No, but I'm...
Aiden, stop. When your physical body dies and we bury you into the ground, the bugs eat you,
Yeah.
the ground disintegrates you,
Yes.
it recycles you.
Yes.
You become compost to some, you become food to bugs, you become compost to the earth, you become minerals, you become nutrients, you become one with the earth soaks you up. You are soaked, your minerals, your physical is soaked up into the trees, into the fruit, and we therefore eat what was once your physical. Are we eating the you? No, we're not eating you. You have moved on. We are eating the recycled minerals and elements and atoms and particles that was once the form of your body. Your physical body has now taken the form of food for an insect or fertilizer for the ground, but it's not you. I'm not eating you. We are recycling. Your physical has been recycled into nutrition for us to continue, but the you that you are is gone. We're not eating you. We're just eating each other's
I don't
bodies
think
in
so.
another. Then where does our bodies go?
Well, it's just, the reason I say that is because first of all, when you're buried in a box, 6
Yes.
feet under the ground.
And wood doesn't mold. It doesn't break. Bugs can't get into wood.
Well, the problem is like, yeah, sure, some of the bugs would get in. The problem is that, like, for us to be fertilizer, first of all, again, we're 6 feet under in a box.
In the ground. What makes fertilizer? Worms.
And nowadays, we're buried in very specific caskets that are built to not decay into...
No casket is built to not decay. We need them to
but like
decay,
it's
or
built to
keep-
last a hell of a lot longer. So by the time
Yes,
it
but
starts,
there's not even a king's castle that can keep out a bug.
well,
A
yeah,
bug
but
will
like
get
we
in.
don't soak up into the earth. Our body, our cells, whatever, are just disintegrating into nothing.
So you think that when our physical dies and we're buried in whatever kind of casket, that your skin, your organs, the flesh that is in you, that is you, obviously your bones remain, that just goes away.
Yeah, it just disintegrates.
So
into
what
nothing.
are bugs doing on you and in you if they're not eating
I mean,
you?
the bugs eat you, yeah, but like that doesn't mean we're eating. Bugs eat anything from.
But if it's eating you, and then it poops you, and that poop goes into the earth, which becomes nutrients and minerals,
Yeah, but
again,
it's
it goes
not,
back to the recycle
but
process.
when it poops you, it's not you because.
No,
when
it's not you, it's your body.
It's not though, because when it eats something, whatever you consume, like for example, when we consume something, it goes into body acid and it's completely disintegrated into nothing.
And no,
And
it's
just-
not into nothing. It's just simply it's disintegrated as in the form has changed,
Yeah, but
so
what
that your body can move it and make it
Well,
into something useful.
But what happens is all the good parts of what you ate go into whatever ate it, and then the poop is whatever the bad parts that the body doesn't need is thrown out.
Yes,
but
so
it's
your
still-
body doesn't require it, but then the bad parts that come out are bad for your body, but it goes back into the ground. If you're out in nature and you take a poop, what's bad to you, the flies eat it, that's life for them. So you do continue.
But it's not you anymore. Because, like, for example,
it's your physical, it's still your atoms, it's still your elements, it's still your minerals, it's still your nutrients. The only difference is it's not in your form. So it's the same shit, different pile, basically.
but the problem is that, like, for example, if I eat, like, let's say pork,
Yes.
and I take a shit,
Yes.
and then scientists go to try to figure out what I ate, they're not gonna know, have a clue what I ate, because my body broke down the DNA, the very structure of that meat into something they can't recognize.
Yes, into something they can't recognize, but it doesn't mean that that something that they can't recognize wasn't once pork. They just don't know what it is now. It's a new form. That's the same as like this computer right here. Right now, it's a computer. If I was to burn this, melt this, break it, twist it, build it, whatever, add things to it, and then hand it back to you, I could make this into a house.
If-
I could make this into something you've never imagined before, and you will never look at it and ever know it was a computer. But the initial elements. That's why I say, for me, going to Mount Everest would be really beautiful, going to see the Grand Canyon. But at the end of the day, it's still a grain of sand. It's still just an atom. It's just a different form. Is it a neat form to go see it? Is it once in a lifetime form? No, it's not once in a lifetime. It can clearly be recreated again, manipulated 1,000 times over. It's just unique in this sense. At this moment, it's in this form. But is it wow? No. You know why? Because it's still the same thing that you and I are. It still all comes to an atom. So the form no longer matters. Your form is going to change. Your physical is going to change. But your physical still carries on. So you've gone away, but whatever the bugs have eaten continues on as to who you were. So your essence is gone, but your body lives here forever. It's beautiful. It's kind of creepy, but beautiful.
If I'm being 100% honest, and I'm not meaning this in a hurtful way,
go to bed.
I am mentally exhausted.
I can see that. Go to bed. Get out of my room. You're grounded.
I can't ground.
I just did.
My barber came down to my shop today.
Aw, that's a weird twist of a statement. You went to the barber shop where you met him, and then the barber came to your shop. That is so...
To her. I know she's way older than I am. But
That's
it's just because our gas station has the cheapest gas in town, or in most places at the moment.
Oh, good to know.
Every other gas place is selling their gas at like $1.60. We're selling it for $1.52.
How does your Amazon return package process work? Is it complicated?
You just bring it down.
Does it cost?
I don't know.
Do you guys print off the forms for us?
So you bring it in. We scan a barcode on it.
Okay.
Onto the packaging, and then we put a sticker on it, scan the barcode on that, and then we just throw it in the bag.
Oh, excellent. Okay, we'll probably stop at your work tonight.
Lovely. We totally have the storage to store Amazon products.
I'll let them know you're complaining about that.
Yes. Well, I'm not the only one. Bill lost his absolute shit when I came in today.
Oh my god.
He's getting tired of being told to organize the back when Bill and I both know that there is no organizing the back because there is no space.
I'm telling you, I was a warehouse manager. Tell them to let me in there for just 5 minutes. I'll fix all your problems.
Mother,
let me fix your problems.
This is how big our storage area is, right? From this wall to about, let's say, about here in terms of length, and then from about here to about past this door, maybe to like the stairs, and then in width.
Do you have shelves?
We have 4 shelving units, 3 of which are all taken up by drinks. The 4th one is taken up by candy, chips, and extra stuff. The wall is completely full and covered by boxes upon boxes of other shit.
Oh my
we have
God.
So much stock that we now have drinks that are in the hallway. They're not even in the storage unit anymore because they can't fit in it.
Why would your store do Amazon returns instead of the Click Pick Amazon store right on Main Street?
We don't know. Well, because it's not our store that's deciding it. It's the company itself. Circle K, the company, the corporation itself, wants to do this Amazon return at all of their locations, or majority of their locations.
Okay, well, I mean, it's a clever idea to get in on cash, I understand, but size is important. They need to consider the store.
The problem is that we can't really expand out anymore. To our left, we have road. To our right, we have a parking spot, parking lot, and other buildings. To the front of us is where we have our gas station, and behind us is another building. There is no really expanding.
Oh, you guys have the winery.
Yeah,
There's
/ cleaner.
There. You could build in between the back alley there where the garbage bins are. You could build in there.
Then we wouldn't have really anywhere to store the garbages. See, during the summer, fall, and spring, we store it right behind it, so it's out of sight, out of mind, and not, smelling up the place. During the winter, we keep it out in the front, just so it's a lot easier for the trucks to get to and for us to get to because of the snow. So,
well, there is a will, there is a way, and they will have to find a way because you guys have the will to make it happen. So, patience, my young Padawan.
The supervisor told us, no, thank you, that
dark chocolate.
Okay. Did you know that white chocolate isn't actually chocolate at all?
Really?
So dark chocolate is actual pure chocolate. It's healthy for you. Milk chocolate is still chocolate, still made with real chocolate, but it's like filled with like a lot of sugar and all that. It's unhealthy. And then white chocolate has absolutely no real chocolate in it at all. It's not real chocolate at all.
Really?
Yep.
Aiden,
Yeah.
you gotta stop giving me information. I have so many tabs open.
Listen, man, I learn new things every day. I got a nice compliment today. I was told that I was the nicest person that you've met.
Really?
So this couple came in, and obviously the one guy obviously had something like, not mentally wrong with him, but like maybe he was like I don't know. He needed assistance being like getting into the store, like being like walked. His wife, I'm assuming wife or caretaker or whatever, maybe daughter, had to basically carry him, whatever, because he's like this basically. I'm not making fun of him. So I decided to get behind the counter and open the door to allow them to get in. Aww. And then I served them whatever. I was very friendly. And then I got out of my counter when they were done, and I opened their door to allow them out. And she turned back. She's like, you are the nicest employee I've ever met.
Aww. Aunt Hetty and I sang happy birthday to a 99-year-old gentleman who was leaving Tim Hortons the other day. We opened the doors for them, and the wife went on and on. Oh, that's so nice of you. He just turned 99 today. Well, that was it for me. You're 99, man. You're just a year away from wow. So we stopped right there in the restaurant saying happy birthday to him. I had a picture with a lady from India because I told her dress was beautiful. So her husband took a picture of me and Pepper with his wife. And Tom is stalking me.
Just remember, before God said otherwise, we used to be able to live to the age of 900, almost 1,000 years.
Yes, after the flood, we were cursed to living no more than 120 years was the limit.
Because the men got pervy and kept on taking all the women. I also learned that the original term of man wasn't just to be for like men. Man was to represent both a woman and men.
There was no gender, so yes.
Because men was spelled M-E-N, women was spelled W-O-M-E-N, and then man, M-A-N, M-A-N, yeah, represented both males and females. Brother back then also was the same way. Brother meant both sister and brother.
Really?
Like brother and sister were still like words that existed that meant different things, but when you were addressing an entire crowd of both men and women, you, instead of saying brothers and sisters, you would just say brother. And it just meant that, brothers and sisters, but they were just not adding the sister, they're just putting into one word.
Kind of like how when Dante comes up to me and he's like, hey bro, and calls me bro, and gives me a
the Bible that we have.
I'm sorry, I was reading it. I didn't. I put the newspaper in here because I needed the name of the
So
thing.
I don't know if you read the very, very beginning, but
I haven't read it at all. I was referencing it in my live show.
There's like at the very beginning, this Bible explains what some of the words mean.
Oh, excellent.
Right, because like immediately the rest is like, oh, by the way, this Bible, like, it was not like they were not sexist, right? So like when they're saying like, oh, the men and the mankind or brothers, they're not excluding women, whatever. Brothers in their terms meant both brothers and sisters, and meant both men and women.
And they didn't reference women specifically throughout the Bible because there was no need. The genders were considered
because women,
like they was there.
Women technically came from men, right? So like that's why they're called women, W-O-M-E-N, because they came from a man, right?
That makes absolute sense. Actually, yes, I'm looking up right now here dictionary of a man. The definition is a human being of either sex, a person.
Yeah.
I found that quite intriguing. I was looking up God the other day and happened to have come across that. So
see, that's
on the same path. Finally,
another thing this Bible explains is that it explains how how they are able to translate words into readable text in today, right? And it requires, first of all, you need to know how to speak 3 ancient languages: Greek, Hebrew, and another language to decipher the words and to translate them, right? And there are 2 ways you can do it. Okay. The first method is by basically simplifying the Bible, right? By basically not translating every word back then into our word, but just kind of like simplifying it. And then the second method is translating every single word from the old language into our language, which is what this Bible went with. The method that this Bible was translated into was translating every single word that it was written in the old language into our language, instead of simplifying it and skipping a couple of words just for the sake of simplification. Oh. This one was built in translating every single word into English.
So you're enjoying the new book? It's more readable?
It's sometimes like it can be a bit tricky, okay, right? Because like especially if you're a speed reading, like if you were to read like a normal book that's in our actual language, it's easy like blah 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 because you understand the language. right? The way this one is like written and all that. Sometimes it could be blah blah blah, and then you kind of mess up because like it's a weird kind of some words are kind of in a weird spot that you're not used to, but it's kind of how like they sounded back then, whatever, or like how the
also
words
makes
meant.
you stop and think, so you can't speed read. Excellent.
Like for again, like instead of saying, "Oh, she had sex with him," it's like, "Oh, she went to go know him."
So you had to put thought into that.
Yeah, that's what sex meant. It was just known. You went to know that person.
Well, it's not supposed to be just sex, baby.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be it's a spiritual connection.
Abraham and his brother did not clearly really just. God told Lot, right, that he was now is like, if anyone does you or your family wrong, they will be punished tenfold.
Okay.
Then Lot went to Egypt, right, with his wife to go get some stuff. But he told his wife, he's like, listen, you are dead drunk gorgeous. And they're going to realize that. And if I tell them you're my wife, they're going to kill me for you. So they lied and said, this is my sister. And she said, this is my brother. And so the Pharaoh, thinking they were siblings and not married, decided to take her to his house and to, and then God came to him and was like, you and your bloodline shall suffer and die. And he's like, but God, they lied their asses. Right? And God's like, yeah, I know, that's why I'm not actually going to do it. But if you don't return them, then I'm going to. So he returns like, lie. Why did you lie about this not being your wife? And God was probably saying, he's like, well, I told you were protected. I told you that anyone who harms you in your family would face consequences tenfold. And yet you felt the need to lie. And Abraham did the same thing. Went to Egypt, lied about his wife being his wife, said she was his sister. Thankfully, the person that went to go take her home didn't do anything. Returned him or her to his husband. Said, "What the hell, man?" Gave him a whole bunch of shit and told him to leave.
Oh my God.
Also, that's a testimony to how absolutely old Egypt is. Egypt is mentioned in the very first book of the Bible, Genesis. Egypt is still a country today, and Egypt existed back in the first book of Genesis. That's how old Egypt is.
Huh.
Egypt is almost as old as the earth at this point.
Well, you've given me, how old is... You've given me 3 different rabbit holes to go down now. Thank you very much.
Welcome. But thankfully, the Bible gives us a very good idea on where everything kind of took place. Right? We know that, thankfully, that like the book of Genesis is all taking place somewhere in the Middle East. Specifically, somewhere very close to Egypt. Because, obviously, Lot and Abraham were able to go to Egypt in, like, a very reasonable time and then make it back to their city. And, again, very reasonable time. Which meant that they lived somewhere in the Middle East that was extremely close to Egypt, probably like right beside Egypt, right? In fact, most of the Bible tells you where everything kind of took place. Like, for example, in the New Testament, again, we know that it took place somewhere in Europe / the Middle East because it mentions Rome. I mean, most of the time they're in Rome, and Rome was in control of most of Europe and a big chunk of the Middle East. Right, so we know that Jesus, while he was alive, that he was around during the Roman Empire time, so which meant that he was in somewhere in the Middle East or in Europe. Whereas most of the people from the Old Testament were somewhere closer to Egypt in the Middle East.
You're a fascinating child. You've only taken so many years to...
And I've discovered 2 things, right? So you know how there's a lot of people that, like, specifically Christians, who are very determined on finding the ark, right, built by oh my God, what was it? Noah. I came to the realization, it's like, you are never going to find that boat. Not because God doesn't want you to, but because since I learned how old that first 7 generations of mankind lived, which covers a span of 6,000 years, I was like, which means that the Earth is at least of 6-digit years old, like probably like, I don't know, I'm talking like 100, 200,000 years old or whatever. That boat, which was made out of wood, is most indefinitely been completely decomposed in the ground, because once the flood ended and it hit ground and everything left, nobody took care of the boat because they did not need the boat. That boat's not here anymore. It's been completely decomposed into the earth, and you're never going to find it. As for the Garden of Eden, I have absolutely no idea where that could be, because the Bible makes absolutely no mention of its geographical location. We could take a wild guess and say it's probably somewhere in Europe, close to the Middle East, because of the way the garden is described with flourish, wildlife, and trees and gardens and stuff, which isn't, the Middle East, which is filled with sand and deserts, right? The biggest reason why it's really hard to know is because after Adam and Eve, the first very two human beings to ever exist, get kicked out of the garden, we never hear from them again, and how they live their lives, and in general, and where they kind of live, right? It immediately went into their two sons, Cain and Abel, and then when Cain, right, got sentenced to wander the earth, I'm going to take a very good assumption that the Garden of Eden is probably somewhere in Europe, which has a lot of wildlife and gardens and stuff, and that when Cain was disciplined to wander the earth, he wandered for so long that he wandered all the way into the Middle East, then built civilization in the Middle East. So we can probably take a wild guess, and an educated guess, that the Garden of Eden is somewhere in Europe, but my best guess is one of three things happened. Either A, God had his angels specifically hide the garden. A, Adam and Eve spent the rest of their lives hiding the garden. Or option B, C, the Garden of Eden was hidden strategically during the Great Flood. But my wild guess is that the Garden of Eden, which is probably not on the surface of the mainland, because if it was, we would have most indubitably found it by now with the amount of satellites that we have. And I'm going to take a wild guess that the Garden of Eden's been hidden somewhere deep underground. The only clue we have to ever finding the Garden of Eden is that the Bible, when it describes the garden, says there are 4 rivers attached to the garden that flow into the garden, each one of which are named, and one of the first one is actually described a little bit in terms of like what it kind of looks like, right? So if we have any hopes of actually finding the Garden of Eden, we need to find the 4 rivers that go into the Garden of Eden. If we don't, then we'll never find it. What?
Okay.
Am I allowed to go to bed?
You are.
Alright.
I have much to picture.
You're welcome for
You've given me 4s. Of course you did.
You love when I do this, right?
I do. I really do. You've given me like 6 rabbit holes, and this one is my favorite.
What, the one that I can show you?
Yep.
Have fun.
Oh, I'm going to. This one is the most intriguing. I absolutely love that our conversation is now coinciding and we can actually converse outside of video games. Woohoo! I mean, I love you so much. I love you more. Okay, he has given me some stuff. Okay, alright. Alright. I know, Ella, you gotta go pee. Alright, guys, I have to let you go for a minute. Ella's gotta go to the bathroom. Louise is gonna be home any minute. We gotta go do some grocery shopping. And I have some digging to do. So when I get back, either today or tomorrow, I will go live and we will talk about what the heck we just found out. I'm super excited. I have some things to look into. And you people who believe the earth is round are going to hate me. I don't know what I believe and I don't know what I don't. But we are about to talk about the possibility of the earth being flat. And we're not talking flat in the form of a circle. Could be. I mean, a compass is encircled and it has, it's got the arrow that points at what they would call 4 corners, south, east, north, and west. Lots to talk about. All right. I always love you guys. Life is good. And we'll talk soon. Bye.